Here we
Oh,
go. We are live. We are live and in color. And hello, everybody. I love you all so much for joining us today. I have the most beautiful human being ever on the face of this earth, Mina, who will now go by Keith. And Mina is the lead singer of Life of Agony. And I think you all know who Mina is. And Mina today is going to give us some really profound wisdom. And I just feel very excited because I just love this human being with my heart just pounds like mad. So I want to say this first before we get going. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting this channel. I can't get beautiful, amazing people like this without you all. And I also want to let you know that Keith will be letting us ask questions throughout this interview. And I think really just listen, because what you're going to hear today will actually change your life. I'm going to also say this. I'm a little emotional today because I keep trying not to, but I lost one of my really good friends, and Keith just has been really great in helping me kind of understand what's going on. So I just can't stop seeming to cry about it. But
you
that
know
being
what, Buck?
said,
You
uh,
don't stop yourself from the
yeah,
crying because that's part of the healing.
yeah,
You're healing.
yeah.
Losing somebody physically, spiritually. It
Thank you.
takes a toll. I'm sure
Thank
you've
you.
lost many people in your life. It doesn't
Yeah.
get any easier.
No.
Death is an incredibly mystical experience,
Ugh,
and mystery. We don't know what's going to happen. Um,
it's
unless
horrifying.
unless death is as beautiful as when the leaves turn yellow and red, because if death looks like that,
Yeah.
I'm all in.
that
I'm
that
all
was
in.
that was the thing you told me yesterday
Yeah.
that just changed me so much, and I know that. So anyway, this isn't about me, but I love you so much, Keith. And so with that, let's go. Let's just get right into this because
Yeah.
you have so much to say, and let's talk first about why this is an important conversation,
It's
if that
it's
makes
very
sense.
crucial and vital because I decided to detransition. Well, here's the truth. See what's been going on, with the children and the systems in place.
Yeah.
Um, and everybody on the take and everybody kind of gaslighting the world, all these systems into,
Yeah.
with all these wrong ways on how to transitioning children.
Yeah.
I felt like I was doing a disservice to the world because I've been medically not on hormones for about 6 or 7 years now. I took myself off of hormone therapy in
Mm.
2016
Mm.
because after 16, 15, 16, roughly 17 years of being on hormone therapy,
Right.
um, it was incredibly, incredibly difficult for me. And I went on hormone therapy even after male puberty. I can't even imagine what hormone therapy would be like for a child before puberty,
Totally.
while they're so already, like, let's just face it, as children, we all go through some kind of identity disorientation. Some things stick to us, like you and I, like you. Um, and some things just work themselves out through time, and that's why I don't think hijacking, these little spirits, these little humans is really, I think there's a lot of malpractice going on. So anyway, the reason why this interview is so important is because just the other day I released to my fans, I really wanted to talk about the elephant in the room, and that's me
Yeah.
not being on hormones anymore.
Right.
And I was in limbo, Buck. I was in limbo for these 6, 7 years, because as the hormones just, as I started becoming more and more of my divine male self, my body changing, my facial hair, my everything changing, my psychological, my spiritual, my intellectual, my emotional,
Mm.
everything really changed, and I really went back to a very clear self, a clarity I've never even experienced before. Once because I didn't do any antidepressant. I'm not on any drugs. I smoke pot. I do mushrooms once in a while, and we'll get to that as well.
Yeah.
But I do no alcohol. I'm on no pharmaceutical drugs. Actually, the hormone therapy was really doing such a disservice to my nature that
Mm.
I knew for years that I was fighting the nature codes. You can't fight the nature codes,
It's true.
okay? And every day it just got worse. The rashes, the migraine headaches, my libido was robbed from me. I'm a very sensual, sexual person. I always was. My libido was stripped from me. I
Wow.
had no fun. I was
Wow.
always depressed.
Yeah.
I felt, maybe I'm mislabeling it, but I felt more of a gender anxiety and depression while being
That's
on
right.
hormone therapy.
Yes.
I thought I was doing myself a service, man. But
Yeah.
after all the years, I was torturing myself, and then to 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 protect all these ideologies that I had about myself being trans and being a non-gender conforming child, which I'll always be. Um,
That's right.
but there's a more of a clarity now. I'm walking in a more healed version of myself, and I don't know what happened years ago. I stepped up with myself, with my boundaries. Whatever wasn't serving me in my life
Hmm.
and was being a complete disservice to me, I basically threw out the window. And it
Hmm.
started with hormone therapy. I was so afraid
Hmm.
to come off of it because
Of
I
course.
felt like, I thought I was going to be creating even more psychological problems for myself when,
Hmm.
in fact, all of that, like, see, what people don't realize too is that, gender dysphoria in a lot of people later on in life, it works itself out. And
Thank you.
people, of course, the white coats, the therapists, the clinicians, the sexologists, the gender, the therapists, the endocrinologists, the surgeons, they don't want to hear people like
That's
me
right.
say like
Yes.
these things work themselves out.
Hmm.
And the whole reason, again, I'm a little bit of a scatterbrain. I have a lot going on in my mind. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to be reeled in. I'm reeling myself in. The reason why this is so important is because I have now shared with the world that I've been off of hormones. And now I reached a point where it's like, oh shit, like what I wanted to do is like, okay, I took myself off the drugs and I said to myself, let me just see how many months or years I can actually get away with this before
Hmm.
I might have to like basically, call my surgeon and take my fake boobies out.
Hmm.
And now I feel like I'm at a point where obviously like I'm totally simmering in my divine male self. Of course that feminine self is there, but
Yeah.
what happened was after all the years of hormone therapy and realizing that it was actually doing more harm than good
Hmm.
for me, my personal journey,
That's
before
right.
anyone judges me or calls me anti-trans or anti-proper care or treatment, I'm talking about me. I'm a very intuitive person. I
That's
knew
right.
that the drugs were only making things worse with all the list of side effects that made my journey tumultuous. It
Hmm.
actually took all the fun, all the
Hmm.
connection what I had with my feminine self, all that kind of just started dissipating because I spent more time on my couch
Hmm.
crying, depressed, filled with
Wow.
anxiety. I stopped going out. I became more of a recluse than I actually am because, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm an artist. Isolation, self-reflecting, meditating, going deep within is all part of my journey.
Hmm.
And I my disorientation, the clutter in my mind, the holes in my soul, nothing could help what was going on in here and what was going on in here. And I originally put myself on therapy. You know, I went to another important fact. I went to a therapist for almost 3 years, Buck.
Yeah.
And she even knew I knew because, Buck, transsexuals raised me. I was
Yeah.
going to transsexual bars since 1989, all
Right.
throughout the early 90s up until the early 2000s. I went to every gay bar. I grew up at Esqualita. I grew up at Edelweiss on 10th
Mhm.
and fucking 49th Street. All the old school transsexuals like you
Yeah.
know these. They raised me. You know what they used to say to me, Keith? Don't you dare ever transition.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a
Yeah.
very hard life. I know you're going through what you're going through. You know, go do your thing. Go out if you need to dress.
Yeah.
But don't ever go on hormones. Don't you ever dare do
Yeah.
bottoms. Because all my girls, all my friends, most of my friends, Buck,
Mhm.
they all got bottom surgery. 5 out of 7 of them are miserable.
That's right.
They have no sex life.
Nope.
And I'm going to be rude. They're
It's okay.
dilating a stinky wound.
Yeah.
That's their exact words.
Yeah.
They look it's an open wound.
Yeah.
Let's be
Let's be
real.
honest.
Let's be
Yes.
real. No design of vagina can compare to what Mother Nature has created.
That's right.
Okay, because I'm
Yep.
seeing a lot of fucking trans idiot kids that had
Oh,
gotten the surgery that are going on and making it because everyone's chasing likes and follows. So you got all these idiots making these stupid
that's
videos,
right.
and I'm seeing trans
Yeah.
girls being completely disrespectful to biological women.
I know.
Going on and on about how their design of vagina is. It's
Disgusting.
incomparable to the real thing. And meanwhile, on the real, these real girls that I grew up with, they're all suffering. They don't have sex anymore.
Nope.
They tell me they ruined. And this was in the early 90s. It took me years to come out. It took
Yeah.
me years or to let the world in. And all I
Yeah.
was doing, Buck, now with my clarity, all
Mhm.
I was doing, Buck, was I realized that I'm an artist. I've had fucking thousands of millions of people since 91. You know, there was always this femininity in me. I was already the gay junkie to all the fans. Like back then, even since I was a child, I had, the Princess Leia doll. Like everything, everything was pointing to like this person I might be trans. I didn't, and that's why I went to all the clubs. I observed for many years. I
Mhm.
learned their habits. I saw girls on the street getting bad Botox, getting
Mhm.
bad hormones off the black market. Like I had I've got 40, 50 books on the phenomenon of transsexualism. Like I didn't just say, oh my God, I got gender dysphoria. And thank God my parents, you see, I know I'm jumping around, but thank
Doesn't
God my
matter.
parents didn't bring me to any clinics or therapists of today because
Yes.
here I am at age 51, um, now going back to my authentic self, my authentic gender, that I'm now comfortable in my body. Listen, we all have body issues. We
Mhm.
all have some kind of body dysmorphism or disorientation.
Totally.
Even biological young girls, they're all filling up their face with fillers. This is
Yep.
also a disorientation. This
That's
is
right.
also something going on in the mind.
That's right.
Okay, we're
Yep.
all, this whole species is quite traumatized. The systems in place are designed to
Right.
traumatize everybody. I was traumatized as a child, Buck. My mom died at 20. I
Mhm.
never knew the womb I came from. It makes total sense why I grew up with my grandmother, my aunt. My
Yep.
grandma used to put makeup
There
on
you
me
go.
because I used to love watching her do it in the mirror. We can't
Wow.
tell any of the boy, grandpa, he would have beat the shit out of me. So,
Wow.
like, I know I'm giving it to you all. I know we got an hour, so I'm trying to,
Don't
like,
worry. No, we can go over. No, it's so important. Look, just go. I'm not going to even say
but
anything because
everything that I lead to goes back to, like, I'm just imagine me at 51. And here's one of the reasons why I stand up for the kids and the parents that don't know any better, because, like,
Mhm,
if my grandparents, if it was today and I
mhm,
was 10 years old today and I had my Princess Leia doll
mhm,
and I was getting caught putting on my grandma's pantyhose and lipstick and
mhm.
thinking I was a little girl as a little boy, or just exercising that energy,
Yeah.
because let's be real, the way I look at being trans, it's a play and a dance on energy. Human beings, the spirit, all we are is energy, vibration, and frequency.
Yeah.
Jung spoke about it. Jung spoke about the anima and the animus, and
Mhm,
how the man and the female has both the male divine male
that's right.
psychology and the divine female psychology.
Mhm,
And we, as traumatized little ones, we're in that dance. We play with it all until we're comfortable. Now,
mhm.
just imagine today if my parents took me to the fucking clinic like it was Kmart to go buy a new gender.
Wow.
I would be here at 51 years old with no fucking dick, okay, and dealing with more trauma, because that's what they're doing. That's
Yeah.
what these practitioners are doing. They're piling trauma on top of trauma on
That's right.
top of trauma.
That's
I'm
right.
here as an adult, and listen, I'm not 100% cured. I know I have this feminine energy inside of me. I could play. I can do whatever I want. If I have a new lover and he wants me to play the woman, I will. I'm open. I'm an open book. This is who I am. I'm a rebel at heart. I'm feral. I'm a fucking nonconformist at heart.
Right
That's
on.
why I played with my gender to begin with,
That's right.
because but I really did have mental issues, okay? I really grew up traumatized.
Mhm,
I grew up abused by
mhm,
all the men. My grandfather was very abusive.
mhm,
All the men in my family were very abusive.
mhm,
All the women, they were gentle, they were nurturing, they were
mhm,
sensual, they were intelligent.
mhm,
So as a child, I wanted to be that. So I'm thinking, I basically, even as a child, the mind, the brain is such a powerful muscle, organ, instrument, that in order to save my own life as a child, to preserve the traumatized environment that I was
mhm.
in, I danced with the feminine. I created a new character. These are
Mhm,
theories. The fact that I never knew my mom, the fact that I was a dirty diaper playpen baby that never got the
mhm.
nurturing as a
Wow.
baby from the female mother, I believe
Wow.
made me go after that as a kid.
Yeah.
I never I never grew up. And still today, Buck, it haunts me that I never smelled my mom. I never saw my mom with my eyes. So, like, I think my spirit either her ghost held on to my spirit and has been traveling with me throughout, or, you know, and we as little ones, we have explosive imaginations. I characterize my everything did mathematically add up to the fact, well, maybe I think, well, maybe I I am a female spirit. I used to run that language in the wrong biology, but these days I feel like, nah, I truly believe that my surroundings, for me to survive in certain ways, I had to do what I needed to do. I needed, listen, life's journey, whether you're trans or not, life's journey is all about transformation. It's all about transcending. It's about, life's about always transcending yourself. And Buck, the reason why I never did facial feminization surgery, oh, I'll get to that too. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, um, well, yeah, obviously, let me let me reel it the fuck back. I stopped my hormones, right?
Yeah.
So here I am, 6, 7 years later. I'm at a, first of all, Buck, I, part of my journey was never to change the design of my face. To me, I honestly, I, that was always going to be first of, it was always sacrilegious to me. I'd never do it because this is the design of my face that the gods gave me. You could always change face with makeup. Okay. I know I'm going to offend a lot of girls, but what I realized in my recent years is that chasing the knife is an empowerment to me. Okay. Changing my face 10 fucking times so I don't wind up looking like Joan Rivers, that's not empowerment to me.
Yeah.
I know a lot of girls are doing that. Girl,
Sure.
you looked gorgeous 5 years ago, but I'm sorry. Gravity's starting to take over. I want to be. And that's why I never did that to myself, because honestly, I used to say to myself, like, I didn't have the courage to do that. And I didn't have the courage to change my face here. But I say today now, nah. When I Keith, Mina, whatever.
Yeah.
I used to say, nah, you know what? It's not that you didn't have the courage not to do that. You always had the wisdom to not do that. And that was never a part of my journey. So
That's
I
right.
see all these girls, they looked great 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But you're going to be chasing the knife for the rest of your
That's
life.
right.
To be honest, Buck,
That's
I don't
right.
want to live my life like that anymore. I don't think that's empowerment. So like, here I am. I look more male than I ever had, even though I'm not a very masculine man, and I never will be. I'm definitely still in touch with my feminine, but in a very different way. And there are just certain things I don't prescribe to and I don't subscribe to, like surgeries. Like, listen, as an adult, do what you want, ladies, boys, do what you want. This is just my personal belief system. For me, that's not empowerment to me. Like, and look, a lot of people aren't going to like this comparison either, but it's another kind of, this is my thought process and the way I think. Like, you see, people don't call themselves out. I'm the type of person, I want to be called out, and I love to call myself out. I'm not on hormones anymore. I'm never going to change the face. We're never doing that. So what's the fucking point? So what just recently happened, for the important and the vitalness of this interview, is that I was stuck in some kind of limbo for the past 4 or 5 years. I finally leveled up. I made decisions for myself. I called my surgeon. I already had my consultation. I got my date, January 28th. I'm going to be living in my full male capacity. I'm taking the fake boobs out because, you know why, Buck? I feel like I found my mental health. And now, you know what the dysphoria turned into now?
No.
Getting them out.
Yeah.
Now, when people call me Mina or she, now I'm experiencing that same dysphoria.
Wow.
And there was a whole reversal, a whole clarity that, and I don't know, Buck, I don't know if being on hormones that long, it showed me how it wasn't serving me.
Yes.
And then when I took myself off, by the way, I just took myself off. I didn't go on any pills. I didn't go on any fucking thing, whatever they're trying. I don't even know what they try to, if for detransitioners, because I know the system don't like detransitioners because it hurts the lining of everyone's fucking pocket, and that's the reality. Because everyone's on the take. No one's really in it for, like, for example, if I was a white coat and you brought your kid to me,
Yep.
and little girl or little boy was under 18, I'd say, listen, parents, this is how I deal with it. That's why I call
Okay.
myself Dr. Caputo, because
Right.
it's like, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it to really guide people into their true alignment.
That's right.
Here's my advice as a doctor, Buck. So your little boy thinks he's a she? Okay. Here's my advice.
Mhm.
Let them play.
Right on.
Support them. Love them. You can affirm their gender that they think they are. Let them play.
Mhm.
And, let them play. Let them dance in their dance. That's what their spirit wants to do.
That's right.
Because when you do affirm that, chances are 6 months later to a year later, they don't want to be a girl. They don't want to be
No.
a boy. And I would never treat anyone under 18. In fact, I think 18 is still a little too young, because
Agreed.
I think kids, especially these days, that most people are dumb fucks. I'm sorry, but society is becoming more and more watered down. And even I'm very rarely seeing very intelligent 18-year-olds. They're out
Yeah.
there. Like the
Sure.
coffee shop I go to, the girls, they're 20, they're very, very smart. They
Mhm.
understand what I'm going through. They're like,
Right on.
but what was it? Oh, so yeah. But listen, you're 18, maybe 25 when the brain develops, or after 21, then
Mhm.
I'd send you to a therapist that is not going to administer you hormones. I want you to go to
Mhm.
therapy for a couple of years. The parents need to go to therapy, because I'm sorry, any parent that's going to take their 8-year-old toddler to go get to be on puberty blockers and then cross collateralized hormones, to prepare them for whatever kind of castration,
Totally.
like,
Oh.
is just that.
Uh,
We're in an insane asylum, and most of these parents, they never even spoke to a trans person that actually cares about real trans healthcare. Now, people, I'm already getting, hate, a lot of hate from the left, because that
of
the libs
course.
of TikTok, they picked up a couple of my videos. They're already at fucking almost 4 million views, 60,000 retweets. Like, and I didn't ask
Excellent.
for that.
No.
I was just being honest with my people, because people were, you're a fucking ugly man anyway, and I'm like, you know what?
Wow.
I got
Just
to
wow.
address the big elephant in the room, and that was me not being on hormones. And you know what, guys? I'm going back, because I feel like, yeah, because of all this clarity, and you know what, Buck? Once I started making affirmative decisions for myself, I'm so very sure about, like, and about the decisions that I'm making today for my body and my
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I won't allow anyone to dim my light, dim my shine, not talk about what I've been through. Hormones wasn't a really good journey for me. And you know what, Buck? I know so many key, prominent figures in the trans community,
Mhm.
very smart people. You know, one of them, she's
Mhm.
an author. This
Mhm.
one got blood clots.
I know.
This one
Yep.
got blood
I've,
disease from home. This one's
yep.
liver failed. And you know what? The fact that all these people, they're all saying there's no side effects. Well, why is it 20 years ago, when I went to go see my first doctor, who's Dr. Bartolos, he was studying
Mhm.
transsexualism for over
Mhm.
55 years.
Mhm.
The first thing we spoke about was side effects, because it was like, hey, okay, Mina, do you want to go on the patch? Because
Mhm.
there are side effects with that. Do you want to go on oral
Mhm.
hormones, which
Mhm.
is the deadliest? Because
That's
with
right.
oral hormones, when you're taking things orally, when you're doing, the progesterone, the spironol, whatever these they're using today, I don't even know.
Ugh.
Um, Orally affects the kidney quicker, affects the liver, the pancreas, you name it,
That's right.
intestinal organs. So much is at stake with oral administration. And the
That's right.
reason why I went intramuscularly is
Mhm.
because the side effects were less.
Yes.
You're going to experience some,
Wow.
but they're less. So
Wow.
every time so when these people, when these professional therapists and clinicians and pediatricians and the world of endocrinology,
Mhm.
when they're telling parents and they got these fucking bullshit narratives going on that there's no there's side effects to Tylenol. Forget about it. What with the side effects that are happening
Oh my God.
with hormones. You know what? Why isn't anyone? No one thinks, and I think of all the loopholes. Like,
Yes.
Bob, we
Yes.
all know biological men and women that have hormone problems. Like my
That's right.
girl who lives in the building, she's upstairs from me. She's over 50 now. She's getting a lot of menopausal problems,
Mm-hmm.
things that doctors, they want to put her on testosterone,
Mm-hmm.
but they won't. You know why?
Tell
Because it's
us.
too dangerous,
That's right.
right? You
Yep.
won't give it to a 51-year-old, but you want to give it
There
to
you
a fucking 9-year-old.
go. Unbelievable.
What's not adding up here? What propaganda are you? I don't understand.
Me
And
neither.
now the world's targeting me. People already don't want to work with my band. My agency
Wow.
quit last year. I mean, I don't cry about it online,
I know.
but
Yeah.
these are things that I'm going through personally. Why?
Wow.
Because I want you to. Oh, and here is
Wow.
here is my bottom line message with everything. Buck, with your go slow.
That's
Go
right.
slow. Go slow. I'm going to keep repeating myself. Go slow.
Slow.
Go slow. Go slow. Because you
Yes.
know what? I'm going to tell you why.
Wow.
One of the videos that went viral. So I'm playing festival last year, and I get this all the time, Buck. I get this all the fucking time from Life of Agony fans. They DM me. I'm playing with band. I play with Rancid, this one, that one. Last year, I'm gonna tell you, a manager from a really huge band. I'm not gonna tell you who, because he doesn't want the stories coming out, which is sad because it can help us, help other people. But not everyone are like divine terminators like you and I, who are really just laying out simple truths, and then the world hates you because you're challenging their lies that they're living. Like, I'm so disappointed in so many trans figures, prominent figures that are selling this narrative.
I know.
And it's always the people that were never on hormones when they were kids. The Laverne Cox of the world, our buddy Laverne Jane,
Oh my
disgraced.
God.
She got a daughter. She did nothing and said nothing. That's my big problem. First of all, you don't come to my page to tell me how to think. You fucking start a war like that.
That's
okay?
right.
She's even going to Paul Stanley's page. Paul Stanley called it a dangerous fad. She went to Paul Stanley's page to tell Paul, no one asked you for your opinion.
Oh, really?
Page.
Wow.
Do you not know how social media works? Do you ever see me go to your page and critique your opinion? It's your page, but
it's my opinion. That's right.
Whether I agree or disagree, that's my business.
That's right.
I agree with you usually, of course, but I'm using an example.
I know.
Example, but I'm so disappointed in all these people where it's like
disgusting.
And you know what, man? It's like
disgusting.
It's like, okay, bring it back to just regular biological people.
Yeah.
The doctor won't give my friend testosterone. Why? Because it's very dangerous.
Dude, I'm not laughing at I'm not at the absurdity of it all. And I hope the whole world just heard you. They will not give it to a biological female because it is dangerous.
51-year-old woman, okay?
Yeah, who could possibly actually help? It could help her go through the
Help
menopausal,
her.
but they'll give it to a 9-year-old little girl who thinks they're a boy.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And
You said it. We live in an
you know
insane
what?
asylum.
Oh, so let me get back to the story talking about, okay, so this guy who managed this very prominent band comes up to me. I'm watching the
Yeah,
band play,
yeah,
gives me a hug. Oh man, I love you. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I love you too.
yeah.
I knew who he was. And I'm like, no, I'm not talking about your music, or I'm
Mm.
talking about you. He's like, I fucking love you. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, you saved my daughter's life. And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, listen, I don't care if you're a boy, if you're a girl, if you're a lizard, I'll support you no matter what. He was like,
Right.
you saved my daughter's life. He was like, my daughter going to school. They tried grooming her. My girl wanted to be a little boy. My girl wanted to be on hormone therapy. He was like, I never even heard of hormone therapy until he was like, I know they all know my page. They see how I am. They see how I push back on,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to instill common sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple and simple. Um, and his girl wanted to be a boy, wanted to get top surgery. All the friends were binding, wanted a binder. He was like, you know what? Listen, you want to be a boy? Let's get the fake beard. Let's wear boy clothes. Let's do all the
Yeah.
and let me and please, if you love daddy, do me one favor. Go to this person's page. Go to Mina Caputo's page. He said she did a deep dive. They did it together
Mm-hmm.
on all my videos and on my posts about, men being in women's sports and all
Mm-hmm.
this mind-numbing bullshit. Um, they do a deep dive. 2 weeks later, she doesn't want to be a boy. She doesn't want to be on hormones. Daddy got her a drum set. She's a drummer now in a band.
Oh my God.
She's in the baseball team on a softball team with all the girls. She
Awesome.
realized I'm a tomboy. I don't
Right
want to
on.
be a boy, but I do
Wow.
like dressing in boy clothes. And it also happened to another friend of mine where his daughter was basically hanging around all the wrong friends. He takes the phone away. He made sure that his daughter didn't hang out with a specific group of friends that were
Yeah.
trying to, how do you call it? Genderfy her, or, you
Yeah.
know, it put. We used to peer pressure each other for weed when we were like 13. Now kids are peer pressuring each other to change their genders, right?
Wow.
To
Yeah.
hang out with each other. He
Yeah.
took all that, changed the school.
God.
The girl's back to being a girl. She went through puberty. She's flashing the tits at age
Wow.
17. She loves being a girl and putting on makeup. So this is what I mean, like, where we, as children, as young kids, we all go through these. I know my identity, Buck,
Yeah.
was obliterated. It was beaten out of me. It was
Yeah.
beaten out of me.
Wow.
And I had to reconstruct a new one to
Yeah.
build a new heart.
Mm-hmm.
But it was another temporary energy.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why I never subscribed to getting any kind of facial feminization, because anyway, I passed um, with the right makeup, and even when I was knee deep in the hormone beat and I
Mm-hmm.
was loving it and I
Mm-hmm.
felt like empowered,
Mm-hmm.
after a while, it quickly all reversed with me, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
very unpredictable to myself. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like to stagnate. I'm all about change and
Mm-hmm.
transformation. And it's why I never locked myself up into any kind of trans cage. Now,
Mm-hmm.
listen, Buck, the reality is, if God came down to me today, if one of the gods came down and said, listen, Keith, do you want a new male spacesuit, or
Mm-hmm.
do you want a biological female spacesuit? I'll
Yeah.
pick a female spacesuit.
Right on.
But that's what I mean by this clarity.
That's
where
right.
it's like I can now compartmentalize, I can separate it. It doesn't mean like, yeah, you know what? Some days it all comes back, but I'm never ever gonna my journey ended. Once I leveled up, I made very important decisions for myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm becoming I'm becoming a new person. And let me also tell you, I believe my acceleration, I believe my healing as well has been accelerated because I'm no stranger to plant medicine. I've been doing plant medicine, shrooming,
Sure.
LSD. I've done DMT. I've done pure mask. I'm no stranger in alternating. I was always big on alternating consciousness and
Mm-hmm.
expanding my consciousness. And I'll be honest with you, during COVID, like mushroom is the type of plant that you'll do a heroic dose and
Mm-hmm.
it'll push you away to the point where you don't even want to do it for another 20 years.
That's right.
It's the exact opposite of what they tell you. Never jump out of the window. In fact, you'll sit in front of a mirror, self-reflecting and wondering who the fuck you really are,
That's right.
how
That's right.
going deeper inside yourself, deeper inside your heart, self-reflecting, peeling all the layers back of your
That's
psyche.
right. Uh-oh.
My
Is that
baby,
your baby? Your
yeah,
baby?
the heart condition. All right,
Oh, can we see your baby?
yeah. Come here, you want to come up with me?
Oh, that cough.
Come here with me.
Oh,
Come up with me. Come on,
oh.
come on, my baby.
Of course you have a baby.
Yeah, female.
Female. Right on.
Hey, little Tom.
Oh my God. Hi, little baby. How
All right.
old? How old?
She's 11 now.
Oh, yeah. Little babies like that. I had a chihuahua for 18 years.
You're
That's
allowed.
okay, though. Is she doing, or is she doing okay?
Yeah, we found out about it last year, the heart condition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanksgiving, we had another seizure,
Oh,
third
no.
seizure.
Oh,
So,
no.
like, I got a lot of jagged pills,
Yeah, you do.
a lot of
But you,
challenging things, but, you know, this is the most challenging. And being challenged by stupidity, by the world. Right? Let me get back. So, COVID happens. I did a gig. Some
yeah.
kid gave me a bag of shrooms, and I had it on my shelf. I wasn't. So during COVID, I decided to pick up painting and back
Yeah.
into reading
Yeah.
classical music.
Yes.
And I know all about plant medicine. I know what it does to the mind and the heart. I know how it transforms your soul. Um, and so I started microdosing. And what Stratoforus cubensis does, what the magic mushroom does, it acts like dynamite for our nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
Our neurological nervous system is made up of fibers, and how the fungi works. LSD, it all works the same way. It embeds itself into the fibers of our neurological system and
Mm-hmm.
implodes. So you can be holding on to a trauma for so many years. What the shroom does is basically alleviates all this trauma to a
Yeah.
point where you become a new entity. Your consciousness, your just put it this way, my ego has been dismantled so much that my ego doesn't even have a desire to have an identity anymore.
Brilliant.
It doesn't.
Brilliant. No, I get it.
Like, I'm all
Yeah.
heart, I'm all soul.
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable in I'm actually now more comfortable in my male self than in my manufactured female body. I know
Mhm.
I'll never be a biological woman. I always knew that. I was always fascinated with the idea of transing mind, body, and soul because that's
Mhm.
what I grew up with. It was always embedded in me. I always felt different, but
Mhm.
that didn't necessarily mean that, you know, I was and I'm going to call myself out, possibly a true transsexual. I don't know. There's levels to this shit.
That's right.
We all have different journeys. And another reason, going back to the kids, you can't treat human beings, especially children, like livestock. When
No,
we're
that's
not
right.
we're not
Yeah,
livestock. Everyone, you have your journey. I
that's
have
right.
my trans
That's right.
journey. Blair White has her journey.
That's right.
Laverne has her journey. Laura has her journey. We're all
Yep.
different, but everyone's trying to make the journey black and white. No,
Yep.
we're not eggs going into the same carton.
Excellent.
Everyone needs different care. Everyone
Excellent.
needs different kind of treatment.
That's
And
right.
I'm the type of person, Buck, even when I fucking hated myself and I wanted to put a
Mhm.
bullet in my head,
Yeah.
I still loved myself. There
Yeah.
was part of me that was hanging on to this self that just hang on. I had junkies for parents. My
Mhm.
dad was, it, and like, hold on, go slow. My message to everyone, I know I'm kind of trying to peel back as best as I can with the
Yeah.
limited time that we got, like, all aspects of my journey. I apologize to anyone who's listening where I'm jumping from here to
No.
there, but it
No.
all really comes back to the main thing where um, the treatment that's going on isn't necessarily the best care and treatment that should be going on.
That's right.
Everyone, yes, has their own different journey, but listen, we're in the post iPhone era. We're in a people are holding literally the new world order in their hands. These
Yes.
phones are literally, secretively propaganda machines. So,
Yeah.
and also
Yeah.
too, in the 2020s, parenting's gone real wrong. It's gone real bad. You know, that's how I know I'm a true trans person at heart. Even
Yeah.
though I cured myself
Mhm.
and I don't identify as being that anymore, in my heart of hearts, I love trans people. I'm all about blurring the lines. I'm all
Mhm.
about living in what you think your authentic self may be. I'm all for it. But we have to be careful. Even adults have to be careful. Like, I'm sorry, being 60 years old and going for bottom surgery might not be the best of the best decisions for you,
That's right.
hun.
That's right.
And all these wine mommies and daddies that are transing their kids for fucking likes and follows. So
Oh,
many people are doing things for narcissistic reasons. And
I
even if
know.
it's genuine, the best care is to go slow. The kids don't need to be on drugs, and they certainly don't need surgeries. And my whole point is that so many, too, Life of Agony fans have come to me and said, Mina, now, Keith, they're writing me now. I've been listening to you my whole life. I had a very gender challenged child. Again, turned you on to them. They're in their happy gender now. You know, they're loving their life. They don't think they're a girl. They don't even want to put makeup on anymore. Like, kids change, they play.
That's right.
And to create a cage around this young spirit is probably the most sacrilegious thing that we're doing to children. Just let them play, let them experiment, let them do whatever they feel like they need to, but no one needs to incorporate designer drugs that won't even be administered to adults.
That's right.
Like, and also too, Buck, I don't know if you heard, but like, I heard that motherfuckers could just take their kids to a clinic and buy a hormone bundle for 20K. I couldn't
I don't
even
doubt
get
it.
I couldn't even
I
get
don't doubt it.
fucking
Yep.
I had to go to therapy, and
That's
then
right.
they gave me a doctor to
That's
make
right.
me live as a woman for a year. And I'm
Me
like,
too.
Doc, I've been living as a manufactured woman, as a trans woman, since I'm 17 years old. Okay, I'll do this, but
Right.
just to take precautions.
That's right.
And now look at me. 17
right.
years on hormones. Look what happened to me.
That's right.
Whether it was the microdosing, because listen, I'm not even fucking joking. London, Canada, they're doing leading research on how mushrooms cure PTSD. They cure
right.
depression.
Depression.
Magic mushrooms has cured anxiety.
That's right.
Magic mushrooms has cured the cessation of smoking for people. So people are quitting smoking because they're doing microdosing sessions. If you really want to heal and change and grow, you can. That's what I did for me.
Yes.
I ain't helping myself being a man with boobs now, not on hormone therapy, not like gonna do the whole thing. I had to make a decision. I couldn't do a disservice to me as a gender creative child and to the whole trans community. Because I know girls, Buck, that they came out of the fuck. They look like they did every surgery, facial,
Horrible.
top, bottom, on every fucking hormone.
Wow.
One of my girls, she's a neurological surgeon in London. She looks like she came out of a Sports Illustrated magazine. And Buck, guess what, babe? She's still so sad.
That's right.
She still has this gnawing hole in her soul.
I know.
She told me, don't ever. I said, nah, I'm going the other way, babe. I'm going the, and I don't care who labels me as anti, because I'll marry.
It's not.
I'll marry a transsexual woman. That's how much love I got for trans people.
But it's not, nothing you're saying. First off, everything you're saying is your own journey, number one. Number two, none of it, you're sitting next to a transsexual person of 32 years transition, right? And it works for me. This works for me. Somehow you cured yourself, right? On some level, this cured me. It's why this is an important interview, because I want people to see some people actually need to continue to use this medicine. But again, everything being said here today is in an adult space. We both agree there's no way a child could ever, nor should a child be put in this space, nor I do not believe that you can understand gender dysphoria until you've lived in the world for a long time. And what is gender dysphoria? Do I even have gender dysphoria? I don't even know. You don't think I don't question myself? Mina, Keith, I just question myself all the time. I do the same thing you do. I do spiritual journeys. That's right.
It's called the workings of the mind.
That's right.
Buck, Jung said it himself. We don't understand. We could never understand the psyche of our own mind.
That's right. Brilliant.
Okay?
Brilliant.
You know what the psyche of our own mind is collectively? The atomic bomb. That's where the human species is. And that was him saying that.
Wow.
We don't know. And this is a guy who put Freud right under the carpet because he was trained by Freud and all these people. And then, he even wrote the Red Book, which was very controversial psychologically. Harvard, Yale, all these fucking jellybacks. They never even put this book in the institution of psychology, because
of course not.
Controversial, because it revealed too many things that possibly the psychiatric world doesn't want being revealed, because that's how everyone could remain on the take and everyone can get their bonuses. Because listen, Big Pharma's been in business for over 100 years, homie.
That's right.
They haven't cured one fucking disease.
They don't want to cure.
They're not your healer.
That's right. They don't want to cure. If they wanted to cure you and me, we wouldn't be giving us all of this kind of stuff that just, I changed my appearance. You changed your appearance. You realized it didn't work for you to change your appearance. All I've done is cut my breasts off, and I use testosterone in a very small amount it's basically like a thing. But anyway, my point being is they don't want to cure you and me. They don't want to cure us. And in fact, when they start going, how come there were no trans kids around when you and I transitioned? That's a new thing. They weren't around back then. They were not transitioning kids back then. It all they found a way to make more money and to create more patients for the pharmaceutical.
Answers, not answers, but two thoughts in addition to what you just said. Fuck, I just went mind blank.
I hate when that happens.
What
No,
did
but
you?
about kids. About kids. Why is there no cure? Why were there no trans kids when you and I did it? Do they want to cure us?
It's what's happening. See, back then, when you had it, first of all, back then when you were growing up, 1 out of 5,000, 10,000 people wound up being trans.
Yeah,
It's
that's
still a
right.
very uncommon thing. But what
That's right.
happened was this day, the reason why they're banking on the vulnerability of children is everyone has a phone. Every other guy
Mm,
wants to be a fucking soy boy now.
that's right.
And what happened? See, no one learned anything during COVID.
No.
See what happened during COVID overnight,
Yeah,
Buck?
that's
Everyone
right.
became a vaccine expert.
Oh my God.
As soon as people like Robert Malone, Joe Rogan, and all the real people standing up to the Faucis and the Bill Gates, and we
Yep,
all know that it was a pandemic, and it was Fauci was full of shit, Bill Gates is full of
that's
shit.
right.
It wasn't even it's a gene therapy. It has nothing to even do it to spike
Wow.
proteins in there. It has nothing to do it with actually curing the
Yeah.
COVID thing,
Yep.
whatever. My point is, everyone became a vaccine expert. Everyone's
Yep.
research was the real research. Funnily, as that all dwindled down, I remember mentioning it to you in our other interview. What
Yeah.
I saw happen was all the COVID stocks went down, right? So all the money, all the people, they all pulled out of the COVID stocks. You know what they did? Bill Gates basically runs gender affirming care with the WEF and the WHO. Yeah, Bill Gates,
What?
Mr. Gates is a part of the affirming care, right? So
Wow.
that's why this whole thing fucking went to hell.
Yeah,
And the reason, and now the new vulnerability for Big Farm are trans kids. And
that's
that's
right.
why we see a spike in
Disgusting.
going after vulnerable parents,
Yes.
going after
Yes.
motherfuckers like you,
Yes.
going after motherfuckers like Blair, like
Yep.
me, like
Like you.
Rogan. Trans or
Yep.
not, don't fucking matter. We care
Doesn't.
about children.
That's right.
You don't need. So what? Okay, I went through it all. I
Yep.
I went on. I was on hormones for 17 years. And first of all, honestly, Buck, I wouldn't have even gotten breast surgery. What the hormones did, I had first I have a tiny body,
Right.
110 pounds. So I didn't. My We all know how hormones work. If no one
Yeah.
knows how estradiol works, this is I went on estradiol so fat can be distributed in all my desirable areas. The tits,
Oh,
the ass, the thighs, That's what hormones do. So basically for you, your blood is truly being distributed like a biological male's
that's right.
body. And
Yes.
that's why you're getting fat in your back, your belly getting fat, even though you work out. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying
Doesn't
that's
matter.
why
Yeah.
female
That's
to
right.
male goes on test. You grow the hair,
Yep.
you get the chest, the arms, the fat goes into the neck.
Yep.
And that's why, as an opposite sex, we go on the opposite hormones so we can have more of, that
Yeah.
eccentricity or um,
Yeah.
shaping my male anatomy to be more female did
Mm,
give me more comfort in my mind to a
that's
certain degree.
right.
Until it all started backfiring, and I knew
Yeah.
that once I really, Buck, I was shooting hormones for about 2 years, knowing like, yo, you
Mm,
got to stop. Every time I
yeah.
shot, I turned yellow and gray because I thought of my junkie parents.
Oh my
Um,
God. Wow.
the migraines were unbearable.
Wow.
I spent,
Mm,
after I shot that day of, I would dry heave for about 3 hours. My bones, still today, my bones hurt me. My
wow.
shins. And as we
Wow.
know, if you have done your research, hormone therapy can create osteoporosis in the
That's
bones.
that's right.
Um,
That's right.
um, Surgeons and endocrinologists, they already know that if a biological female goes on testosterone, some of the surgeries that are in place for these young kids, demented, they take out the ovaries, the fallopian tube. Why? You know why? Because the testosterone, if you leave those organs
That's
in
right.
there,
That's right.
the testosterone is going to give you possibly, depending on your body, your diet, your everything.
Mostly.
It's going to give you
Atrophy.
ovarian cancer.
That's
or
right.
fallopian tube cancer. So what
Atrophy.
do they do?
They take it out.
You're taking, and you
That's
don't
right.
even know if the kid's going to get cancer or not. So
That's right.
We're doing uncalled for procedures.
No, they're calling it preventive medicine because I got really bad atrophy. Remember, Keith, and I almost actually died from it because I did it before anybody, and I kept talking about it, and nobody would listen to me. And they were all the trans guys were calling me that I was lying and that that's not true. And then later on, they're all, Buck, I think I got that thing, and I'm like, no kidding. You can't not get it. I'm putting testosterone in why do you think I've always been attached to my biology? I'm a female. I'm an actual female that looks like a dude. That's literally what trans is. And so, yeah, Keith, a lot of kids are actually suffering from this now and doing irreversible surgeries, and just because the testosterone is destroying their bodies.
Have you seen, and let me just tell you, parents and children that are listening, and beware, because there's a serious medical / surgical turf war. They don't want to tell you about it, but I know surgeons and I know doctors that were fans long before the band, before they even became doctors and surgeons, okay? And I know a surgeon that's talking to me about the surgical turf wars, about the surgeons who will do it.
Yeah.
Surgeons that won't. And the surgeons that won't are getting a lot of hell.
That's right.
Why? Because they don't want to do bottom surgery on children.
That's right.
Because then some motherfucker like me comes along 30 years later and says, hey, doc, I think my gender dysphoria or whatever the fuck I just experienced for the last 30 years of my life is gone. Take them out. I said, doc, I'm so sorry. We're going to ruin a beautiful job because they look gorgeous. They really do. Dr. Marin, please, doc, let me just mention Dr. Marin.
Please.
Because Dr. Marin, he's an incredible surgeon.
Yeah.
Not only has he done thousands of breast augmentations in and out, he's really he basically puts kids' heads together.
Great.
He and his team of surgeons were one of the first and only teams to go to Haiti when that whole thing went down. So there was 9 or 10 surgeons. They had no money. They had everyone, all them, Marin and all them cats, they went out of pocket to fucking put limbs back on kids, to put their faces back together. This fucking guy. And so if anyone wants any kind of reconstructive surgery or look Dr. Marin up, the guy is a fucking angel in disguise. He's the one who put my breasts in. I got the gummy bears. We got the more healthier ones, obviously. And he's going to be taking them out. And so look him up. He's a brilliant guy, because honestly, no matter what kind of surgery you want, I'm not even talking about anything. This guy is just, look this guy up. And my point is that he's one of the good guys. There are many surgeons out there that are doing very botched work. Have you seen all the botched work that
Are
is
you
going
kidding?
on? And
I did a whole video on it here, and I blew it out of the water because I exposed it. And that, of course, I get called transphobic, and the trans community hates me, and they come after me. I'm like, oh, right. I'm just going to sit around and let young 16-year-olds have their chest. Dude, the scars are like all over. It looks like something from Frankenstein, or it is these are doctors that are doing these surgeries that should never be practicing. That's my goal. My goal here is to get rid of these doctors, and they can never work again. I want
that other doctor that you had beef with, and then that fucking soy boy unfollowed you and blocked you, and
Totally.
and that action right there only literally reveals, Buck, what
That's
he's
right.
hiding.
That's right. That's
Otherwise,
right.
he would have came on your show, and
That's right.
he wouldn't mind being questioned,
Questioned. There you go.
whether it's rhetorically
Yep.
or whatever. Anyone hiding something
Yep.
doesn't want to come on to talk,
Nope.
or
They wouldn't. He wouldn't come on. His name. He's the queer surgeon. He calls himself out of Portland, Oregon, at OSHU. I know exactly. I expelled, and he blocked me. He went. I said, "Come on the show. Let's like me and you. Let's have a conversation." Blocked. I was like, "Oh, dude, you're going down."
Portland, Oregon is one of those states that took the phenomenon and the art of the transsexual and the sacredness of the transsexual.
Oh, totally.
They basically they demoralized it. They watered it down. People are wondering why there's so much trans hate now again.
I know.
People like you have been doing 30, 40 years of incredible trans liberation. Who wrote Stone Butch Blues again?
Oh, that was Leslie Feinberg.
Leslie Feinberg. I got all the fucking his books.
Yeah,
I should say.
Yeah.
And he wrote a book called Trans Liberation.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I love that. The
Great
work
writing
you guys have done has literally been dismantled overnight.
I know.
And now you got all these new jack, watered down people in culture. First of all, I don't subscribe to any culture. I don't subscribe to any ideology.
Me neither.
Do a deep dive on Terence McKenna, people. All you fans of Buck, go do a deep dive on Terence McKenna. Go check out what he says about the idiosyncrasies of ideologies.
Great.
And culture as a whole, as how culture will trap you in ideologies that aren't even real.
Yes.
And here's one of them. Listen, Buck, I love trans. I should become a doctor to study the sacredness of the transsexual, because I really care about transsexual people. I care about trans children. You see, we're the people that really care about trans people and trans health, because we're being honest about what we actually went through. Doctors don't know, because these idiots have never been on hormones. They would never ever. Most of them are, biologically and heterosexually, they're fine in their thing. They don't understand what people like you and I have been through. They don't understand how we categorize ourselves. They don't understand how we perceive.
That's right.
People I'm so complex and so intricately layered that I'd be a liar to say if I understand who I am and what I am and where I am and why I'm here. Where are we going? And I feel like we're a species that is suffering from amnesia. And people like you and I, our consciousness has been so expanded that we know we're spirits encased in a flesh suit, and this doesn't bring us happiness. And I also feel like I lived in a male body. It didn't make me happy. I lived in a manufactured female body. It didn't make me happy. Now I'm going back to my male. I've realized, Buck, that my soul is scorching and is on fire. My soul, I don't belong here on planet Earth. I've come here. I feel like, honestly, call me what you. I feel like, and I speak this about all of humanity, but just personally speaking, I feel like I'm a divine angel in this vehicle. Our spirits drive this vehicle, and spiritually speaking, people could call it woo-woo, whatever. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
See, because I speak with the with the tongue of the Holy Spirit. I don't, like I was telling you before, I don't believe in men. I don't believe in the flesh. The flesh is gonna send you on a different journey you don't even need to be on. And that's what the parents too. Parents, go slow. Go
Yes.
slow with your children. You wanna really, the new trans health is going holistically, is mentally going holistically, is spiritually going holistically, is emotionally and intellectually and physically going
Yes.
going holistically for your child. Let your child
Yes.
grow up, let them develop.
Yes,
There's a
right.
shit ton of side effects.
Oh
In
my.
fact, hormones, listen, because I went through male puberty, everything did come back. My dick even got bigger because
Wow.
while I was on it, it's a
Wow.
form of castration.
Right.
Hormones, yeah,
That's
you
right.
go on, men
Yeah.
go on women hormones to
Yes.
prepare you for castration physically.
Wow.
But not only does it,
I didn't know that.
yeah, because what it does, and you know what, Buck? I felt that castration mentally more than the physical. Yeah,
Wow.
it took my semen away. My penis shrank a little bit, but after years of not being on it, all my semen came back. My
Wow.
dick caught up to itself and
Wow.
grew how it was should have grown. So now I got nicey nice down there. It all came back. But my whole point is that if I would have went on hormone therapy before puberty,
Yeah.
before going through my natural puberty, chances are, even
That's
if
right.
I did go back, I'd have very complicated health conditions
That's
because
right.
the puberty blockers and the hormone therapy, and when they put them on both cross
Oh my
collateral
God. Oh my
sex
God.
hormones and all this
Oh my
stuff,
God.
it
You
wreaks
know,
it wreaks
my,
havoc on the body.
dude, it literally, like, the thing that's blowing my mind about trans kids, that this is the thing that blows my mind. I don't care if you want to call yourself trans. I don't care if you want to dress like a boy or a girl. I don't really give a shit about any of that.
Yeah,
What I just really blows my mind, Keith, is the fact that they would put this stuff, which even they don't even know what it does to adults, 32 years, they still don't know, that they are willing to risk a child's whole life. Because let's just be honest here, whole life. I don't care if you go off it at, you have just destroyed a child's any chance of having any normalcy for the rest of their life. That's the part that I'm really having a hard time with. That means our medical world does not care about us. Children need love, affection. They need to have guidance. They need to have rules and regulations. They need to be hugged. They need to be told, you're good, dude. It's all good. That's what they need. They do not need to be shoved full of. You're right. Your penis would have never grown back. Ever, dude. You wouldn't even have a penis if they did that to you.
I know.
What the
It
fuck?
it honestly, down the list, it creates unprecedented complications.
Wow.
and
Just
and,
wow.
and I think, listen, the
Wow.
problem with big farm is that big farm can patent nature, and that's why. And when Rockefeller took over big farm in the post-agricultural, in the very
Okay.
early 1900s,
Yeah.
all big farm pills, medication, everything
Yeah.
became lubricant based, and oils and all materials
Wow.
those are made of, that shouldn't be in our body either.
Wow.
So their whole
Wow.
motto is,
You're right.
you know,
What? What?
see,
What is?
this is part of the medical turf war that they speak of behind
Yes.
closed doors,
There you go.
because there's a lot of therapists that disagree.
Yes.
As a therapist,
Yes.
surgeons and endocrinologists,
Yes.
they're all waiting on the therapist's go ahead, for adults and now kids to
Yeah.
be prescribed hormone therapy and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
we're saying, once you put these kids through this system,
Yeah.
you're medically creating prisoners, and
Well,
you're
that's right.
creating
Right.
prisoners in their own mind.
Totally.
And if you want to avoid all this kind of nonsense, man, you don't want to complicate things.
Yeah.
The only real affirmative action is to just, again, let your kid play, let them, because it every day, more and more fans come to me, because
Uh-huh.
all my fans, they back me up. You know, come on, let's be fair. Do what you want, Buck. Sew a dick to your neck, but don't go be violating the rights of women, and
That's
don't
right.
violate the rights of children.
Right on.
Leave the
Right
kids alone,
on.
and leave the fucking leave the women
Yeah.
alone. Since when did men's rights become women's rights?
That's right.
Since when did
That's right.
follow the science? Science forgot that we're fucking mammals. What science?
What science?
There
Totally.
is no more science anymore.
Oh my God.
What? Follow the science that tells us that we're not. I'm not a male mammal anymore,
I know.
and you're not a
Yeah.
female mammal anymore.
That's right.
That's
That's right.
adults. Yo, trip it up, man. Have fun. Live dangerously. Take risks. I encourage everyone to do everything they're afraid of in their life, because you will never, ever live a fulfilled life if you don't take risks and chances. Why did what I did? I risked my entire career. I lost all my friends. I lost all my families. Radio stations refused. Everyone loved Life of Agony, and everyone was trans friendly. But you know what?
Yeah.
All the radio DJs stopped playing me. I lost everyone and everything. You know what I gained? My own mental clarity back. And look, my friend puts it in such a beautiful way. She's like, Keith, you're so creative, and you're such an artistic, creative artist, that you learned how to kill yourself, how to kill Keith Caputo without actually physically killing Keith. Then you created this newborn person that was living inside of you. You gave her a chance to live her life. And now you actually went through a second suicide to kill Mina, because Mina allowed this new spirit. Listen, I'm only using names to just tell you how I've spiritually grown. And now and I don't regret my transitioning. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't regret what I needed to do these things for me to learn. Like, Buck, you're still on your journey.
That's right.
This brings you your fulfillment. Even though, you question yourself. You wonder how the hormones are. Listen, you can be on hormones your whole life and not be affected.
That's right.
That's a reality. Think
is.
about Russian women that smoke 3 packs of cigarette for fucking 80 years of their life. They're doing their vodka all day and they're eating raw fish. They're 111 years old and they're still living.
Totally.
So listen, it's all about attitude, but we do need to care for the young ones, the seedlings, in a much more smarter way. And what has happened is that if we had actual trans people like you, and I don't even know if I should be calling myself trans anymore, because I am still a gender creative child. That hasn't gone away. That's entangled in the web of my fibers of my life.
Of course.
If I want to play and go out and
I
want to doll up, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do.
That's right.
Beauty, and that's what kids need to understand too, because we do live in a very open world where the old lady down the block, the Muslim woman with the hijab, and everyone kind of accepts everyone now.
Yeah.
But keep it away. But once we started involving
children,
things got mad sour. And then the system, I call them the agents of the Matrix.
Wow.
And these are the people that you never see. Fuck Trump, fuck Biden and Harris, Obama, the Bush. They're all puppets. Colin was
totally. Yeah.
They're all the puppeteers are the oligarchs behind the curtains, behind the doors that the presidents and all these jellybacks, they're not even allowed in the rooms to make these decisions. So whoever was they literally took all the beautiful work and look at what the agents of the Matrix did. They weaponized the trans community.
Yep.
They weaponized the trendy trans, the microwave pop-up trannies like Caitlyn Jenner.
That's right.
They put transsexuals in place like that because let's just be real. And then they weaponized it, and then now you have these very kindergarten / very immature ways on how to take care of people mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Kids got to develop. And more importantly, another point that I made on that video that fucking just blew up was the fact, what the fuck are you going to do, parents, when you've already given your 16-year-old a double mastectomy?
Yeah.
They got all this, and then they come to you 5 years later, mommy, daddy.
Yeah.
Mommy, daddy, what did you do to me? Why did you listen to me? I'm just a fucking kid. Did you see this kid, Clementine? What they did to her?
I mean, there's so many, Keith. I can't keep up.
See what they did to this girl?
What they do to her?
And then
surgery.
You want to put people like Buck Angel through hell, who's trying to fucking awaken the world?
Yeah, it's true. They don't like me.
Like me that care.
That's right.
You know why I didn't go any further, Buck? For me and because I care about my life.
I know.
Chasing a surgeon, chasing the knife for me, that ain't empowerment anymore. You know what it is? Manning the fuck up and being like, the hormones didn't serve me. This ain't serving me anymore. This would never serve me. All these trans fake ideologies don't.
That's right.
Being a part of the parody of what trans turned into,
I know,
is just. And you know what? I was going through all of this even before Clown World, before all the Dylan Mulvaney's presented themselves in the world. Now, you know what? Isn't it interesting how people like Laverne and Dylan Mulvaney, they don't ever do serious interviews about men and women's thoughts, about how to really raise a kid, a trans child. That's not. You don't fucking bring a 15-year-old little girl, homie. Chop up the fucking arm, make a fake penis. That ain't care.
It's so sick, dude.
These kids don't even know if the penis is gonna. They think
it doesn't work. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah, they're literally. Listen, my friend, he was in one of the bands I played with years ago. He turned out to be a doctor. He owns about 15 practices. He went to Columbia. The guy's a fucking genius. Wow. He said one thing to me that stuck to me for my, because he was one of the people that I lost. He was one of the people that said, Keith.
Yeah.
You'll never be a girl, dude. And I'm like, Mike, I'm telling you, something's going on inside me. It's hurting me. It hurt me my whole life. I've been just not right. And I needed to find, because in life, we have more questions than answers.
For sure.
That's why they want to censor us, because they don't want people questioning things.
There you go.
Because they're killing humanity. Because if you kill the curiosity and the urge to question, you're literally killing the human species.
Great.
You're killing the curiosity out of people.
Great.
That's why you got all these fucking non-player characters running around on automation, yelling at. You're a transphobe. You're a Nazi now. You're a bigot. You're a racist. Why? Why? Because if I had a trans kid, I would wait for that motherfucker to be an adult. Yeah. Oh, that gets me to my other point that I forgot. It's always bring back. Well, so I started crying. I'm sorry. I got a little emotional.
No, you're beautiful. You're beautiful.
What is everyone going to do? You already have given your fucking 15-year-old a double mastectomy, yada, yada, yada. You want things because we live in a culture that wants. Here's another problem. We live in a culture that wants everything yesterday.
That's right.
Instead of just going easy. Taking it slow. Be patient. You want to just boy? We'll do boy things. Great. We'll work out. We'll eat foods that have more testosterone in the foods. Because you know what I did? You know what I did when I got myself off of hormones? You know what I
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
Even while I was doing hormones, I looked up all the natural fruits and
Mm,
vegetables that
mm,
possessed high concentrations of estrogen.
great.
Figs, apricots, cranberries,
Hmm.
this food. Believe it or not, the fake vitamin D milk, it's loaded with it. Don't put your kids on. Just give them the vitamin D milk because it's loaded with estradiol and
Oh
you don't
my
even,
God.
yeah.
What?
So what was I saying?
A-
Shit.
a- a- about the hormones and about the kids and about when you were coming off of the hormones. So I just wait before you, I don't want you to miss that, but I really am interested when you got off the hormones. How did you feel? Like you just took yourself cold turkey off of hormones.
I just do cold turkey. Like when I go out on the road, I go cold turkey. I don't smoke pot. I don't do any
So
microdosing.
your body is used to that on some
I'm
level.
honestly, my body and mind is a little used to it. First couple of nights, a lot of
Yeah,
spinning, a
right.
lot of head spinning, especially with the marijuana. But
Yeah,
I'm a responsible user. Like I'm
yeah.
not
Me
waking up
too.
smoking
Me too.
and doing
Yeah,
interviews. I'm very
yeah.
clear. I'm very
That's
at
right.
the time when it's time for me to smoke or do whatever I do.
Because you use it more as a medicine in a spiritual space, like I do. I'm not a stoner.
I yeah,
Yeah,
I don't use
yeah,
anything recreationally. When I
yeah.
do microdose,
That's right.
it's very concentrated. I set my intention, which is very important. And when I set
Yes,
my intention, I'm just like,
that's right.
bring me healing, bring me a new version of myself that is going to allow me to just carry. I'm going to be 51 in a couple of days.
Wow.
So
You
like,
look amazing.
thank you.
Amazing.
Oh,
Amazing. You did the journey. It was
I
a journey. Somebody came in. I had to remove them from the chat because sometimes very rarely I get trolly, weird, crazy, angry people. And I just did an interview. I just did a video about a girl who became a boy, detransitioned back to a girl, and then transitioned again to
I
a,
saw I
what
saw
the
the video you
what?
posted.
So this person in the chat is like, "You're a hypocrite because I'm talking to you." And I said, "But anyway, I'm not going to just, I don't give people my time who are not willing to have conversation, who just attack me. But that's not what's happening here. What's happening here is you went on a journey, as I am still on my journey." And so that's what people need to understand. What's happening here? Transitioning is a journey,
What
and
happened for me was that my journey, my transitioning
that's
journey,
right.
ended abruptly because I knew I was fighting against my own nature.
There you go.
It's that simple. I
That's that
stood
simple.
up for my biology. I
Yes,
knew what I was doing. What I was doing, what
that's right.
empowered me originally,
Mm-hmm.
of just a
Mm-hmm.
few years later,
Mm-hmm.
I already had the
Mm-hmm.
the consciousness to say, like, yo, all these side effects you're going through, this is not and
It
I
wasn't.
tortured myself for years,
Yeah.
and I lied to myself
Yeah.
because I wanted to go through this narrative for myself. I
That's
wanted to
right.
be, I knew bottom surgery wasn't even in the cards. I knew
Me
facial
too.
feminization
Yep.
was never in the cards because
Yep.
I got away with it when I did my makeup.
Yep.
I
Thank
lived
God.
it. The public, it was just,
Thank God.
and I
Thank
live in
God,
a
Keith. Thank God you didn't do that because honestly, that's the thing that people need to see. It was like on some level, you went through a hardcore therapy and you needed to do all this, but you didn't need all that surgery and you didn't need all of that, which is what they're doing today to these
because
young kids.
it's become a narrative. It's become a thing to
Yes.
do, and
Yes.
because everyone's doing it. Hence, what everyone in
Yes.
society does, they follow
Yes.
the fucking leader, and the
Oh,
leader is an idiot. The leader
exactly.
jumped off the edge of the cliff. Everyone did it
You're
during
done.
during the
Yes.
COVID thing.
COVID.
Suddenly, everyone was a vaccine, and now,
Yes.
which leads me again. I think I cut
Yes.
myself off again before. Now today, Buck, everyone's a fucking endocrinologist. Every, everyone is a gender therapist now. I got 60-year-old fucking old white European men that don't want to work with me because I'm transphobe. They don't like my
Wow.
trans views anymore.
Wow. Just wow.
What?
What?
What the
What?
fuck are you even? And my agent's like, well, explain. He couldn't even explain why. And people are so brainwashed by all these mindless narratives, but
I know.
the care that they call care, like everything else in the world, is
Yeah.
backwards and upside down, and it's
That's
not
right.
care at all. It's
Nope.
actually the exact opposite.
Opposite.
This thing, this transing oneself and blurring the lines, and if you're really going to do it seriously, medically and surgically,
Yep.
you better hold on for a motherfucking rough ride. And I want to thank all my transsexual girlfriends. Doesn't matter. I could call Vivian, this one,
Yep.
Dina, all my girls that were like, yo, go slow. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do this. If
Yep.
you're going to go on hormones, go slow. Don't take, because the kids of today too, they're taking so many, they're spiking their blood, their
I know.
blood count levels
Yes.
so high
I know.
that that is sacrilegious in itself.
Yes.
It's almost like you're not really treating. You
Nope.
want to get there tomorrow. You don't.
That's right.
You don't want to go through the
Nope.
hard workings of the transition. You want everything tomorrow, and that's the problem. Like, and that's the problem of all the pediatricians and the clinicians and everyone giving all the wrong information.
Disgusting.
Because, like they're saying, there's a spike in suicides when the
Yep.
kids aren't on hormones.
That's
No,
right.
I'm
Bullshit.
sorry.
Nope.
I have a perfect example. A girl I used to talk to, her best friend was female to fucking male. The doctor was prescribing him way more testosterone than he should have. Guess what he did? Shot himself in the fucking head. Shit got mad dark.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you know what, Buck? Things
It
got
does.
real dark for me, babe.
Of course.
And this was part of it. Where I'm like,
Hormones.
oh, okay.
Hormones.
I have beautiful silky skin. The hair stopped growing. The tits grew just before, sir. Like everything was, but my mind, I was losing my mind every day.
Totally.
And it wasn't worth it to me. It wasn't worth chasing pretty
Exactly.
anymore. Like people are doing today. You're
Exactly.
chasing pretty, you're chasing masculine. But that's not how it goes. You got to listen to the seniors in the game.
No, they don't want to listen to us, dude, because they want to listen to themselves. Also, I wanted to touch on that hormonal thing. It took me many years to get to this way, slow and methodically. I've never changed my dose of testosterone.
When did you first start doing testosterone?
32 years ago with a doctor who had no idea what he was doing. He even said it to me, dude, he literally called me a guinea pig. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm 30 and I'm ready to take this. But my point is I have been methodical for 32 years. I've never changed my dosage. I've never played in a sense with it. These kids today are getting it off the internet, going to YouTube, shoving tons of double the dosing it, thinking it's going to speed it up when it actually doesn't. They don't understand hormones. It reverts to estrogen. Then kids are getting kidney failure. They're literally getting kidney failure from it, and then wondering why they're all like sick and looking insane because no one's even teaching them the proper. What you just said, friend Keith. It takes a long time to look like me on testosterone. It did not happen overnight. You can go and watch all my pictures. They're not willing to take the time and energy, just like you. You took the time, you saw it, how it had to go, but you have to also understand it's different for a man becoming a woman. I really do think the journeys are really, really different. And I believe there's a lot more involved with a man becoming a woman than a woman becoming a man, right? You're dealing with facial feminization, always trying to. Now they all want to cut their penises off now. That never was like that before. All trans women kept their penises.
Honestly, I think if in my hearts of hearts, if I'm anything,
Yeah.
Perhaps my brain was never really studied by. I wish that I can sit down with a a scientist who has been studying, like in
Yeah.
Canada and London, about the microdose, and has been studying psilocybin.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
really, because what it does, it opens. There are
That's
many
right.
parts of our brain that lie dormant, and what
Yes.
the fungi does, it opens it all up.
Yes.
New, new brain, new, all the synapses in the brain,
Yes.
all new networks are created. And I feel like, Buck, this was accident, Buck. I was just microdosing here and there twice a week so I
Wow.
can sit at the piano for 7 hours, so I can paint for 9 hours
Yeah.
straight, you know, and just
Yeah.
because it gives it accentuates your senses when you're doing it
Yeah.
at very, very low. And honestly, it cures all these things. And I'm like,
Totally.
the acceleration of my healing, I
Yeah.
blame it on that. And I blame it on the
Yeah.
type of person that I am too, because I did call myself out. I
Mhm.
knew all the
Yes.
drugs were working against me. I knew that this wasn't a part of my journey. And I
Mhm.
know in my soul, even right now, being off of hormones and now even going emerging into this new male self,
Mhm. Mhm.
in my soul, if my soul had a face or whatever, like in my heart, I'm both and I'm neither.
Yeah.
I'm a dance.
Beautiful.
I'm a dance of energy. And
Beautiful.
if I were to real, I am definitely hermaphroditic.
Yeah.
And I having the both definitely rep. I even got a tattoo on my thigh of a hermaphrodite with the both, and
Great.
to me that sums up the collective energies of what I really am as a spirit, as
That's
a human
right.
being.
Yes.
Um, and that's
Yes.
why I never went for that. And I know too many girls. I already
Yeah.
knew going into my first gender therapy session. I already knew that that wasn't a part of my journey, and that
Yeah.
never uncomfortable or whatever. Because if we're going to talk about sexuality, I love every,
Yeah.
I'm open. I'm an open book. I love women. I love trans women.
Mhm. Mhm.
I love men, even though
Mhm.
I like never top a man,
Mhm.
but you know what I mean.
No, I know. You're open. I'm the same
Yeah,
way. I
yeah.
like people. Like I'm attracted
I
actually
love
to the
souls.
person. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
love souls, and if I'm
That's
attracted
right.
to soul, there's
That's
no
right.
telling where I would go with the human being.
Exactly.
And my love knows no boundaries in a sense.
Beautiful.
I also
Beautiful.
come from a very unconditional place, and I also learned how to be unconditionally loving towards myself, which also
Mhm.
helped me in my
Mhm.
healing journey, in the
That's
process
right.
of um, of my transitioning journey. Because let's face it, we all have different journeys. We all have a different, they paint this picture of the transsexual timeline and how it's supposed to go, but not everyone wants to get forehead surgeries. Not everyone wants to
Oh,
cut their Adam's apple. Not
oh,
everyone wants to chop the dick off, man,
that's right.
and create an open wound, because that's
Ooh,
what it is too to me.
yeah,
You
it
know,
is.
yeah, I know so many girls that are honest about
Yeah,
about what they go through. My
that's
friend,
right.
like in London, and my other girlfriend who did it, like she's a prostitute.
Yeah.
She lived in the Netherlands,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I was actually with her years ago,
Mhm.
and I had to stop because of the scent of what was going on
Oh,
down there. Yeah,
wow.
and I know,
Wow.
people are
Well,
gonna hate,
that's real. I don't care.
but
No, look,
but
people
this is
can't
this
handle it. It's real. I heard that it
this
does
is
have
a
an
real
odor.
experience for me. Like
Yeah.
I lived in Amsterdam. I was with every fucking prostitute. I'm not ashamed of any of that. That's my
It's
journey.
not.
I was living there. I like I said, I do things that I'm afraid to do. I'm constantly like challenging myself. So that was kind of like one of the things I always wanted to do. Live in Amsterdam, mingle, do drugs,
Totally.
see the lady,
Totally.
And anyway, I wound up being with a post-op, and
Yep.
it was not a bountiful experience, and we wound up.
Yeah.
I wound up becoming friends with her. I said she started hysterically crying because
Yeah.
she noticed that I noticed.
Oh.
And honestly, I thought she was a biological woman. I
Yeah.
didn't know she was a transsexual woman.
Wow. Wow.
And then when it came down to that point,
Yeah.
she then told me, which she's stupid for doing it, because if I was a psychotic man, I would have shot her.
That's true.
Because guys do that too,
All the time.
And all the youngies that are pretending and that haven't outed themselves to straight men,
stupid.
You all better fucking do that, because
that's right.
That's when you put yourself in a very precarious situation.
And then, you know that they say, because I say that all the time, it's disclosure. And then they called me victim blaming. Victim blaming? The victim is the person you did not disclose that you are trans and that you don't have a real vagina. And this is a straight man. How do you think he's going to feel about that? How dare you do that? How dare you? Any transsexual person who does not disclose sexually, they are putting themselves in harm's way. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And just
what?
Because trans doesn't mean you can't be an asshole. I don't give a fuck. You could be the fucking
dude.
Pope. You could be the Pope. Sinead O'Connor already proved that popes could be pieces of shit too.
So true.
So trans or not, like.
Oh yeah, I don't care if you're trans. It doesn't mean anything to me. Now it's just a label, and it's just all the sick.
Trans, and it's usually male to female, because men are fucking stupid. It's usually, I never heard of a female to male transsexual giving hormones away for free on the internet for kids that shouldn't even be having them.
Oh my God, dude. It's the other way around.
Male to female, because you know why? These motherfuckers are still in their male ego.
You can say it.
And they're doing things like this to the children. Who's that one motherfucker I posted about him? Blair was on this one. He lives in New York. She lives in New York.
I know who that is. That's right. Giving away drugs, male to female. They're always male to female. Luring little kids. You're trans. You're all trans. I'll give you free drugs if you can't get them. Oh my God, I can't. What?
Same thing with trans women in sports, man.
Oh,
you know
God,
what?
dude.
You know what, Buck? If I was Leah Thomas, you know how I would have handled it? I would have said, no. This is what we're going to do. We're going to create a new trans category, and we're going to have transsexual women competing against each other and transsexual men competing against each other.
Yeah.
Because isn't it funny, like, too, I know
that's right.
We've all seen the meme.
Yeah.
Why don't female to male, transition into men and incorporate themselves into male categories? Why is it always
I don't know.
And the system, the agents of the Matrix, they control the Olympics. By the way, in Paris, that motherfucker was really a male, right?
That's right. Busted.
We all found
We all said it. That's right.
Again, Buck, they're using the whole trans umbrella to divide and conquer.
That's right.
It's not just left and right.
No.
It's trans and non-trans.
That's right.
It's black and white. Kamala Harris was doing it during her Vote for Me Joy bullshit. She was going around, making videos about how white people should pay reparations for. Meanwhile, her family in Jamaica owned slaves. So what Kamala was doing with the system,
the system,
the media, the media, they're just creating division.
I know, totally.
That's it.
All over, on all sides, everywhere. It's all division, dude.
If they
all
cared
of it.
About children, Buck, forget about it.
Yeah,
if they cared about the children, we wouldn't have almost 500,000 kids missing in sexual trafficking cases.
Bam.
Where are these fucking kids disappearing to?
Bam.
Where are they going?
That's so scary, dude. That freaks me out. Like, you're right. If they actually cared about the kids, why don't we talk about the real issue here? Not a certain part of this trans thing. Where are how many? 500,000? Dude, that is actually
I think
mind blowing.
350,000, but that was last year's count. I don't know what it's up. I'm a little over exaggerating. It's about
Well,
three.
I don't care. Even if it's 100,000, even if it's
Exactly.
50, I don't
Big deal.
care.
I'm
Yeah.
100,000 kids off, but
Uh,
you know,
uh, uh,
maybe I'm
dude,
a million kids off in,
maybe.
and we're not really seeing the true statistic, but
Oh, dude, that is actually giving my body. Yeah, they don't care about the kids. Come on. Everybody here watching you knows that. We all know it. The only people that are coming after us are the agenda people who want to continue to create this illusion of trans kids. And when me and you say, bullshit, we'll call bullshit on this, show us the proof, we get called transphobic, we get blocked, that's because there is no proof. There's
I
zero proof.
yeah, I think it's honestly, I think it's mentally way more deeper. I think
Yeah,
people like you and I, what we experience,
yeah,
all kinds of people, but we're more in touch with our spirits and our souls, I
yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Um, you know,
Fucking hell, man.
fucking went mind blank again. I'm fucking, this
No,
is,
because so much. There's just so much to think, and
we're unpacking a lot, and it's
a
like,
lot, a
um,
lot. Somebody put in the chat that it is between 325 to 350K. Another person put they've heard it was 500,000. So
yeah.
people are saying that over 300,000 kids. Like what? Where are these kids? Where are they? These are children. What is happening, dude? Like I have a kid, as you know, and I'm in the midst of adopting another kid. Like what? Like I just can't even believe. I believe, I coach, I'm around kids or soccer. I'm like, these kids are innocent. They just want to have fun. What you just said, let the kids have fun. But no, we got these crazy adults like experimenting and snatching them and putting them in weird spaces. And it's up to us as adults. We have to stand up for these kids as
It's
adults.
interesting that people like you and I are throwing on white coats, and we're more interested in the
Totally.
we're more interested in the rhetoric of doing no harm more than any
Yes.
of these people.
Yes, it
Every
is.
Which only brings me to the conclusion that so many more people are on the take than actually all these
Ooh,
doctors
yeah.
sign these oaths to do no harm, but
Yeah.
they're doing more irreparable damage than they ever have.
That's right.
The internet, the fact that bad parenting comes in, throwing phones into kids' hands. They're not monitoring their environment. They don't know that teachers at schools are
Oh
letting
my
their
God.
kids change into the opposite
I
clothing.
know.
They don't know
Wow.
that their kids are changing their name at school.
I
Like all
know.
this stuff that's going on. This is fucking psychotic. You got
Scary.
California, the idiotic state. I don't know if the bill went
Yeah.
through, trying to take your kid away if you don't agree. Are you
That's
out of your
it's here. It's
I'll go
here.
to jail
So
five
will I.
times over if you ever try to take my kid.
That's right,
You
dude.
don't get to tell me
That's right.
how to take care of my child or
That's right.
trans child or retarded kid or whatever the
That's right.
paraplegic kid. No
That's
one
right.
fucking tells me how to think, what
That's
to
right.
do, how to handle shit, what drugs to put in my body, what
Wow.
drugs to put in my kid's body, what
Wow.
surgeries they need. No, people need to level up. This is part of the problem, Buck.
That's
People
right.
haven't leveled up. They have been so watered down.
Oh,
They're swimming in their own fears, their own
so
confusion.
gross.
Most of these parents never even talk to a real trans person like
Wow.
you or Blair or a
Wow.
me who's lived through shit. Yeah.
Wow.
You think people, they want to make fun of me too. I'm getting more heat from the trans. You're just butthurt
Sick.
because your transitioning didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Bitch, it did. It did.
It worked. It fixed you. It actually fixed you.
My journey healed me.
It fixed you.
But as an adult, I needed to make adult decisions for myself to go on hormones, to see a therapist,
Yeah.
to go to transsexual clubs for 30 years of my life,
Yeah.
to learn about the girls, to learn
Yeah.
about my own self. Like I was like a philanthropist
Mm-hmm.
as a young man.
Mm-hmm.
observing everyone and who was doing what hormones not to get, or what Botox to, and then all the transsexual girls always noticed me coming. I went to all the clubs. I went to all
Right.
the swinger parties. I knew
Right.
people that did. I hosted as a woman swinger parties on 30th and 6th.
Right
I,
on.
it was helping me get my
Yes.
my female mojo out, if you will. You know what I mean? Um,
Of course.
went slow. I went like
Key.
I went
Slow.
tortoise. I went I went like the pace of a turtle
That's right.
because
That's
I
right.
always knew drugs are dangerous. Surgeries are fucking irreversible. I honestly,
Yep.
I don't know what's going on in parents' mind. We got two kinds of parents. We got parents
Yes.
that don't really know and they really want to do the best for their kids, and then
That's
the
right.
parents get hijacked by people who aren't in the game for the right
That's
reasons.
right. That's right.
Or we got parents that are very fucking narcissistic.
Yep.
Everyone is chasing a like and a follow.
Yep.
Everyone wants to be the new Jazz Jennings.
That's right.
Even the parents want to be the new
Oh.
parents of Jazz Jennings. I don't know if you saw, but TLC, I came across a new episode of with Jazz, and
Mm-hmm.
Jazz's mother is talking to a whole bunch of mothers, bunch
Mm-hmm.
of fucking idiots that have
Totally.
their little kids' surgeries, their dates are booked. They and they're all like,
What?
wine mommy sipping on their wine and champagne and
What?
like, and poor Jazz Jennings, she had
S-
two, three bottom
Yeah.
surgeries already.
Yes.
Still doesn't know who she is.
No.
Then
No.
you got the big corpse. You got money coming into the family. You got the family gaslighting the kid.
There you go.
There's so many things that play, and that's why the best thing that you could do
That's
is
so
listen to
sick.
motherfuckers like warriors that walk through the fire.
That's
Whether
right.
we're still Buck, I'm still walking,
I
Honeyland.
know. I
I'm gonna
know.
be living my life as a fucking pure, authentic man, and I'm still gonna be fighting for the kids. I'm still gonna go
That's right.
fucking hell, because no, because
That's
I
right.
always, to me, the phenomenon of the transsexual is still very sacred to me.
It
I
is.
hate HATE.
Yeah.
Make sure I hate all you fucking microwave pop up fucking trannies that are pushing back on experience like
Yeah.
us. Like, all you young people need to listen to us. We
Yeah.
want you to have healthy journeys.
That's
We want
right.
you to be healthy. We want you to be
That's right.
1000% confident in the decisions that you make. And confidence comes with experience.
That's right.
Confidence comes with learning about who you are. If I never cut my face up, and I never
That's
put an
right.
open wound in me. Why? Because I had 30 years of experience of watching all the transsexuals making mistakes,
That's right.
unfortunately for themselves, what they considered mistakes now,
Mm-hmm.
and all the girls getting hormones off the street, all the
Mm-hmm.
girls getting bad Botox off the street. Because back then,
That's
doctors would just give out
That's
hormones.
right. They would never just do what they do now. It's
Hello.
actually illegal. You can't just go chop somebody's penis off because they
But
say that they're a woman. Like
but
what?
now, post COVID, post
Disgusting.
post big farms
That's
gig
right.
up, suddenly they're they're going real hard
Oh,
they
dude.
go real hard with the parents.
That's right.
And again, that's why I like to tell my stories. Oh my God, Keith. Oh my God, even with Mina, even when I was in my thing, knee deep in the hormone beat, I would still
Mm,
push back on the men because I'm a man
yeah.
that
Yeah.
thought he or she was a she,
Yeah.
or It's a play on my energy. I just really learned that I'm playing and I'm dancing with energy. I
Yeah.
know how to, I can, and I don't, now I'm at a point of, no, I don't need to be on drugs
Yeah.
to play and dance with my birthrights of my energy. It's a
Yes.
birthright of energy. As adults, do what you want. I'm all about blurring the lines. That's
Of
what
course.
people can't. Please don't misconceive. I love
Yes.
transsexuals so much that I don't want children becoming transsexuals when they're really not transsexual. Because let's face it, the trans has become the new McDonald's Happy Meal.
Oh my God. It's actually unbelievable to me. It just really
It's
is.
it's fucking stupid. And
Yeah.
this is what societies do. They water things down to
Yes.
the point where there's no more sacredness in it.
Yes. It's not no more sacredness. That's a
iPhone,
brilliant.
yo, the iPhone, they did when Napster came out, Lars Ulrich
Yes.
was right from Metallica.
Yes.
He
Yes.
called it back then. Look what the
Yes.
iPhone did to artists,
Yes.
musicians, and look, I got
Totally.
fucking, I think I got what, 6 million streams altogether. I didn't make
Wow.
1 red cent. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. And this is the systems that are being put
I
into
know.
place are watering
Sick.
down everything, Buck.
Everything.
They're,
Everything.
and humanity is being watered down to a point. Let's bring up a new thing
That's
where
right.
obviously we all got these phones. The digital world is a big part of our life.
That's
And
right.
a thing called transhumanism.
Oh.
And, and I'll give you the easiest version meaning of what that means. If people don't know what that really means, I'll give it to you in very
Yeah.
simple terms.
Yeah.
Transhumanism is the art of merging the biological and digital avatar of, so basically
What?
the agenda of transhumanism is to merge the digital with the biological. So that's why you see so
Wow.
many androgynous beings, so many
Wow.
people are buying into this digital, like there's so many soy boys out there
Oh
that
my God.
they're lost, they don't know what to do with it, they
That's
hate
right.
themselves.
That's
So
right.
oh,
Yeah, that's
let
right.
me
That's
claim the
right.
trans umbrella. Let me turn myself into a girl, look pretty for my avatar. Let me do all these things that I think I should be doing, and then boom, you get a kid like
Yes.
this girl I used to speak
Yes.
in Florida who took more hormones than he should, and then he wound up killing himself. I can't
Oh,
begin to tell you how many times I've shot hormones. A couple of days later, it got so dark
yeah.
for me. I just wanted to just drop
My
myself out
God.
of a fucking window
My
because I
God.
couldn't deal anymore. And
My
I don't
God.
understand.
My God.
And I don't understand like adult transsexuals, like
Yeah.
famous writers. All
Yeah.
these people are keeping quiet.
Yeah, they are. Because they don't
I
want to
don't
lose their following.
understand because I already blew two people's spots that I don't really like. I don't really like Laverne Cox.
Oh,
I
she also she got bought.
oh, she's bought. So she's
Yeah,
fucking the
she got bought.
epitome
She
of
doesn't care.
what it means to be bought and
Nope.
sold in Hollywood.
Yep.
She's a,
Yep.
and
She
look at
got
her.
bought.
Did she see the work she got done?
Oh my God, please. See, that's part of the also that Laura, what's her name from the band who used to be my actual friend,
Yeah,
Laura Jane Grace,
yeah.
totally sold out and called me all kind. I was like shocked. I was very close with Laura and I
Why?
couldn't believe
Because
it.
and you know
Yeah.
what? I toured
Yeah.
with Laura, and I
Wow.
respectfully, I never wanted to
Wow.
blow her spot, but I'm going to blow her spot right now, and I don't
Oh,
give
I
a.
just did.
Well, no. Well, when I toured with her, I did an acoustic tour with her.
Uh-huh.
I opened up for her in America on the East Coast. It
Mm-hmm.
was her first year on hormone therapy.
Mm-hmm. I
Me and
remember.
my friend is a witness. We walked into the dressing rooms one of the nights, and she was
Yep.
on the floor crying because because she was on and off of hormones the
That's
first,
right.
and I
Yep.
had to give her a
Yep.
little bit of a lecture to say, Laura, the
Mm-hmm.
first year is extremely important. You can't
Right.
go on and
That's
off
right.
and on and off. And she already told me that she stopped. She went on. She started again. And I'm like, that's
Wow.
why you're experiencing all these
That's
dark
that's
psychological
right.
experiences.
Yes.
You're going into these cyclical, vicious cycles in your mind.
Yes.
no hormone because it's going to pull you out of.
I
You
know.
need to like either get off them or stay on them and allow your body to redevelop and
That's right.
reconstruct or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And the fact that she went through that and she's selling these fucking dumb fuck narrative. See, this is the problem.
Oh,
You get a bunch of jellybacks.
that's right.
Everyone thinks they're punk rocker.
That's
Sorry,
right.
Day, the Laura Jane. They're not the real punk rockers of the world. I'm the real fucking punk rocker. The
That's right.
Johnny Lydons are the real punk rockers that actually stand in real authenticity. And I know I inspired Laura to come out. She even said it in Rolling Stone, but it's just like you came out
Wow.
binary, which doesn't even exist, dude.
That's right.
Maybe that non-binary term is you being conscious enough to play with your energy.
Totally.
You're not really experiencing any kind of fucking dysphoria.
Yes.
And if you are, I'm sorry,
Yes.
but you don't know enough, motherfucker, to be selling this shit to the kids. This is just another human being on the planet,
Totally.
part of the herd, that's following orders and
Unbelievable.
doesn't want to get her platforms messed with.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Same thing with, just imagine if Laverne decided to be real and was like,
Imagine.
I never was on hormones my entire
Imagine.
as a child, so I don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well, you do.
About,
What are you talking about? You know exactly what you're talking about, okay? No child ever. I don't care what you're, I don't care. I don't care. It hasn't worked, okay? Number one. Number two, you know exactly what you're talking about. It's a journey. You took a journey as an adult. Are we going to start giving kids drugs to take journeys? No, we're not. They're not settled in enough to understand the journey. It's a literal journey that you are so lucky, Keith, to be able to have that journey and to use that journey to get yourself better. That's what people need to hear from you.
I feel I dodged the bullet because
You did.
If I was a quick acting person,
Yes.
I'd be on hormones.
That's right.
I would have got bigger breasts, and now
Oh
I
my
would have went
God.
facial feminization surgeries. And the reason why I did it is because I know in my heart I'm very unpredictable to myself.
Yes.
I knew, like, holy
Yes.
shit, if I get facial feminization surgery, I'll never do it because
Yes.
I'll never touch the design of what the gods gave me, A.
Yes.
And B, I'm so unpredictable to myself that you may do this
Mm-hmm.
and then 5 years later put the bullet in your head because I erased my true form in essence. Now,
that's right.
I have the type of heart that I don't even know if I would survive facial feminization surgery, okay?
Yeah.
Be real, that's hardcore shit. Like,
that's hardcore.
The air whites of the world, like, God bless you, baby. You look gorgeous.
Yeah.
I can't become a full man to ask you out on a date. Because I love Blair. I love her mind.
She's awesome. Sure.
Fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
I want a date, Blair. This is me.
Right on.
A date.
She's awesome.
No, but this. But now Blair, and amongst so many other people, like, look, this is her. She's probably strong enough in her mind to do it. I'm definitely not.
Yeah.
But to me, again, my idea of empowerment is not giving the knife to someone else to make do, and now everybody's got to keep up with this stuff, and that's all good and well as adults, but
that's right.
The children are looking at the adults doing this kind of stuff. The parents are looking at people like Laverne and Angelica.
I know.
And all people that are on TV that aren't doing anything to protect the youth. Whatever happened to youth, man? They're the seedlings of the planet, man.
We should totally be. We are destroying our youth, by the way. Even the so-called trans. There is no trans community, people. There's literally no trans community. It is completely something else.
What
it's
you
not.
Came from has been completely obliterated because the community, the trans community.
That's
of
right.
Yesterday, where you are from, and I'll say where I was from because I grew up at Alago. Alago used to take me to the pride.
Love him. Great friend.
I thought it was fucking stupid. And I'm just like, Now it's turned into furries licking your kids in the street.
Oh
Okay,
my
like,
God.
can we stop?
What? Can we stop?
And we got parents. Like I think I saw you post. Parents are you're identifying your 15-month
I
old
know.
as a they them. Are you
It
a
is
fucking kid?
shocking. That's
You're
mental illness. That you
yeah.
can't. Yeah, those kids. That's child abuse. You have to take kids away from people like that. They're doing their. They're putting their own shit on kids, right?
See this? It's become the trans dysphoria or gender dysphoria has become more of a dysphoria and mental illness today
Yes. Yes.
because all
Yes.
the people that refuse to work on themselves have
Yes.
hijacked this wonderful community,
That's right.
have blackened the transsexual timeline,
Sick.
which should be a very adult orientated thing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
honestly, that's, listen, man, this is an adult game.
Totally.
We're involving and again,
Drugs.
like look, man, look, like even with the whole sports thing, and I know it's a lighter issue, but
Yeah.
we're in a society that hates women.
Yes.
We hate women so
Brilliant.
much that you want to throw biological men that identify as female in
Women.
sports. How come
It's
no one's
crazy.
listening to the women cry
I don't
across
know.
the globe?
I
How
don't
come
know.
people like Riley are getting fucking demonized?
That's right.
But
That's right.
since when did men's rights become women's rights? Now
Brilliant.
we all know, even from fucking women,
It's crazy.
the rights of women are always being constantly violated, and I can't believe.
Yes.
Oh, so like I was saying before, if I was Leah Thomas,
Yes.
I would try to create a new category.
You
instead
think?
of because listen, we have to be honest, people. The trans experience is so remotely different. My experience as a trans woman could
Yep.
never be the experience of a biological woman. I never got my
Never.
first period. I'll never get my last period, motherfuckers. I don't know how it is really growing up as a young little girl. If your soul is saying that, your soul really don't know what it's saying. Your soul at
Yeah.
that young age is just
That's right.
literally trying to figure. Your soul is literally dancing within itself,
That's right.
trying out opportunities, like the whole strand of DNA. Like
Yeah. Exactly.
we're trying still at 51. I'm still trying to work out what my psyche is telling me.
It's so true. It's
But
so
then
true.
God told me, yo, the drugs don't help. Surgeries aren't going to help because
Yep.
I'm a rebel, Buck. I'll
Yep.
rebel against myself as I usually do. I knew
That's
I
right.
was going to rebel against myself.
Mhm.
And I was even a very different, I'm very different normal person, a very different trans person, a very different, I'm just very unique and very different. I don't have a home in a regular world. I didn't have a home
Right.
in the trans world. Like my spirit is just, it's almost like everything and everyone, nothing and nobody.
Brilliant.
Just like I've reached such a divine clarity in my life that, and even when I wasn't clear and I was on hormones and I was clear for that point that got me to this point. So like,
Yes.
again, they call it a transitioning, the trans
It's a
journey.
journey.
The journey never ends.
Never.
The journey
Never. That's the
It'll never-
key.
Isn't it, Buck? I love you, but the reality is, even in your idiosyncrasies of thought,
Yes.
you're gonna be challenged by your own mind because of
Always.
what you think is right versus
Yes.
what might be wrong. But what is right or wrong for an adult? There is none. But for
But
children,
every journey is different. That's what they're trying to lump us all in together.
So I'm
That-
nobody to judge what's good for you, what's bad.
That's
for you.
right.
Just like no one
Can judge you. Never.
No one should
Never
be.
can they. And they have to listen to a person like you because actually what you're doing is so profound. Maybe I might get there, Keith. Who knows? I'm not saying my
Maybe
journey is not over.
maybe
Yeah,
I'm the catalyst, and in five
maybe.
years, maybe
That's
in five
right.
years, you're
That's
gonna be
right.
like, you know what?
That's right.
I don't need to do blocks. I
That's
don't
exactly
need this.
right.
You did what you
Yes.
did. No regrets.
No
You
regrets.
have a
Nope.
very full life, full of
Yep.
love. You got people that respect you, that
That's
admire.
right.
You're fucking shifting paradigms, motherfucker.
That's
That
right. Yeah.
that rule is in Roman times couldn't shift.
Right on.
You know what?
No,
And
but
that's why I do
that's the
love
key.
people like you and
Yeah.
Blair, and I
Yeah.
put Joe Rogan in that mix too,
Right
because
on. Right on.
Joe Joe is a very sensible guy.
He is.
Even see him calling out motherfuckers that want kids on hormones. I just saw a clip of him saying, "Well, why? You don't
That's
have
right.
to affirm that he's a girl.
Excellent.
Let them play. Let them dress up. Let
Yes.
them play. You don't need to involve drugs. Tell me why drugs should be involved
That's
more
right.
to let this little boy think he's a girl. Tell me."
That's right.
And the guy goes,
Uh.
"Can you repeat the question?" He repeats the question,
No way.
and he was like, "Yeah, good point. I don't really know."
Oh
And
God.
then the sound of the TikTok.
Yep.
Like,
Done.
shut the fuck up, because now
Yeah.
every other idiot is a trans fucking advocate. You got the world demonizing JK.
I know. Sick.
She's a biological woman, motherfucker.
I know. It's like,
All
shut
you-
up.
All you men should learn a fucking thing or two about JK, because you know
That's
what?
right.
Even
That's
when I
right.
was when I was deep in the hormone beat, as I like to say it, and
Deep
I
in the-
thought that I would never, ever buck. I
Mhm.
thought never, ever buck. I would ever go back to living as my male self.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna go
Of course.
completely go ahead, go
Yeah.
full on, except with a couple of things I know I would never do.
Mhm.
But how long can I go before I really, especially because I know I would never ever go on hormones again. And I was like, well, what's the point, babe? Like, you're never
Sure.
gonna cut yourself up. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, well, there's gonna be a certain point where I'm gonna reach that crossroads. And it was like, okay, to the left, we
Mhm.
could continue on getting back on hormones.
Mhm.
We can do all the surgeries, the facial feminization, and
Mhm.
you can play pretend for the rest of your life and have that kind of life,
Yeah.
and then face surgeons for the rest of your life, and
Mhm.
be a medical prisoner, which I don't really want to do, because
Mhm.
I don't even have a fucking cavity. I won't even go to dentist, because when I go to a dentist, I feel like they're trying to destroy my teeth that have no cavities with the fucking hook. They're doing that. I'm like, Doc, do that again to my teeth, I'm walking out. These people, like, they push, even in a, you know,
It's true.
It's just
It's true. Well, it's our medical world. It's just insane.
medical system. Unfortunately,
It's insane.
they don't follow the oaths that they're taking.
Yeah, that's right.
My endocrinologist, when I was going to him, was appalled and mortified. He was actually thinking about stopping endocrinology and stopping to taking care of
Wow.
trans,
Wow.
because he wouldn't even fuck with the youth. He was an old school dude.
Yeah,
He
like
even-
ours.
I ain't gonna mention his name, because I have
Yeah,
many
don't.
endocrinologists in my journey. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna mention his name because he
Yeah.
still practices, and
Yeah.
that motherfucker would not do it on children.
Integrity. An actual real doctor with actual real integrity. Children don't need medication unless they're literally like, it's not life-saving. That is such crap. Hormones are not life-saving, okay? They're just not. I don't care what anybody says.
They're
If you're
life-
going through mental anguish that you want to off yourself, we need to figure out why that is. And that starts here. It doesn't start with, remember, it used to be the other way around, Keith. They used to give you mental health, and then eventually this is the last fucking thing, right? This is the last exit.
Any hormone. I went to almost 3 years, and another famous transsexual, bottom surgery and everything. I won't mention her name. She actually turned me on to her therapist and her doctor. She did
Wow.
thing by me. She sent me to a therapist that
Ah,
I have to go to for 2 years. Then they give you a choice. You want to go to the doctor that
that's right.
prescribes you the hormones or the doctor that won't
Yeah.
prescribe you the hormones. And my
Yeah.
therapist was like, well, since you have been going to clubs since you're 18, you've been living as a woman, like,
Yeah.
I can give you the doctor's number. But you know what I
Yeah.
did? I took another year of therapy before I had anything
Excellent.
admitted. Okay. I moved slowly.
Slow.
I moved slowly.
Slow.
I
Slow down,
and
everybody.
Buck, I started my journey at 33,
Which is
not
great.
not 13.
Not 13, same with me, 30.
Yeah,
That's
it
why we're
took me my
solid.
whole life. It took me my brain to say, you know what?
Yes.
Like, you know what?
Yes.
You're old enough. You lived through enough. You've had a
Yes.
lot of
There you
experiences
go.
sexually, this
Yep.
way, that way, publicly, yada, 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 yada.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm going to call my friend who can get me that friend,
Mhm.
that transsexual friend that I know, who's going to get me that therapist, who's going to
Mhm.
eventually lead me to the hormones.
Yeah.
That was almost 3, 4 year process in itself.
It
So
should be.
I think the first hormone that went into my body was probably at 36 years old.
Fantastic. That's
Yeah.
actually
I
fantastic.
was on it for 15, 16 years. And that's when my mind started rebelling and saying, yo,
Because
this
you
is
figured it out.
yeah.
That's what people don't understand. I committed to this. When I say I committed to it, I committed to it in a way that I understand what's happening to myself, right? And it's not just a fly by night thing. But like I said earlier, what happened to you could happen to me. I'm not denying that, and I never will deny that. I want to be fixed, if that makes sense, right? I don't want to live in gender dysphoria, and I don't necessarily live in it anymore. I feel very comfortable how I am. I do not feel in any way, shape, or form that, but it's because I'm grounded about me being a female. And I really think that's the key to transsexualism, grounding yourself around your biology. And I'll never change my biology, and I'll always be a female, and I'll always be, but I feel more comfortable walking the world in a masculine space, if that makes sense. It's so complicated, but it's also an independent journey. It's not a blanket journey.
The intricacies and the level of complexities that
Yes.
people like you and I
Yes.
feel are are the mind can't even conceive
Yes.
what someone like us goes through.
Never. Never.
I
So,
even in my I thought I was committed.
yeah, you
I was,
were. You
but then I
were.
wasn't. And then it all changed. Everything changed.
It's
And then
beautiful.
it's it
It's
is
beautiful.
beautiful. It's I
It
went through
is.
Buck. I went through so much, Buck. People
I
don't
know.
know. You
I know.
know, people know. People
I
don't
know.
understand what I've endured mentally and spiritually to
They'll
even
never know. They'll
point.
never know.
And that's why when I see parents and and these systems that took oaths to really care,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it really destroys me to see like this girl Clementine, this fucking shook me, man. And I know there's thousands and thousands of, and you know what I also feel like?
Hmm.
I also feel like the system is even going after more female to male than male to female,
Oh, you're right.
because
100%. Yeah.
I also connect the dots and I tie this into the disrespect and the lack of rights that women have.
That's right.
So they're literally erasing
Women. That's right.
young girls before they even get to be adult
Even
women.
before they get to experience womanhood, they're
If you
still
have a brain
girls.
mind and can connect the dots on how the
Yes.
system actually, so what I'm seeing in the whole trans community is that
Yes.
actually going after, there's more female to male surgeries than
That's
there
right.
are male to female, and
That's
they're
right.
all young girls
Girls.
getting double mastectomies before they're
That's right.
16 years old. They're destroying women's bodies. Why?
That's right.
They're hell bent
That's right.
on just putting We
Yeah.
still put the women at the stake. Nothing has changed with the witches and the systems and
Oh,
everything
so
that's
good.
in place. So
Yeah,
now
I
the
see.
new putting the new women on the stake is
Yeah.
throwing men into fucking women's sports, and it's going after the
Yes.
young little girls that
Yes.
want to be boys or think they're boys,
Yeah.
but actually something. It's a trauma that can't even be
That's
categorized
right.
by the human mind. They can't be. Um,
Yes. No, dude, it's so profound. You said it, everything, but you're going dark. What I mean by is New York time. You're 6 p.m. You're on 6 p.m. Or wait, is it 6 there right now? What time is it?
no, it's
There you go.
um,
Yeah.
it's holy shit,
5.
4:25. We're almost,
4:20. It's 4:20.
oh yeah. So
We're gonna have to end soon because
yeah,
we're just going to.
we'll end
But
the fuck,
listen,
but
I
just
want
to
to
finish off
finish.
how I connect, how my brain works, and how I connect the dots with because everything's connected. So, like, I see how they violate rights of women all the time,
Yeah,
and now I can clearly see how Big Pharma and all these white coats are literally going after more the young girls,
the young
because
girls.
also too young females,
Yes,
they go through way more identity issues as youngsters than the young
that's
boys do,
that's right.
because they get their
Yes,
period. So
yes,
the double craziness going on in their head,
totally. Hmm.
they can just be going through regular early puberty, thinking they're like,
Yes.
I think I'm a boy, but it's not really that.
No, it's
But
so fucked up.
then they go through that route. They have the
Yes,
dumb parents that don't know any better, that are rushing them. They
yes,
have doctors. Oh my God,
yes.
yeah, your boy is wearing pink. Hurry up, let's book a surgery.
Let's book a surgery. Oh my god! I mean, I'm laughing because it's like this could have been on Saturday Night
Yeah,
Live
you're
20 years
laughing
ago.
because it's a joke on how
It's a
people are handling.
Yeah,
And one more thing, what I want the trans community,
yeah,
whether you love me or hate me, I don't give a fuck, but I
yeah,
love you anyway. And what I want the
yeah,
trans community, the real trans community, to realize is that
yeah.
you, you also have to take control, and these kids can't take
Yes.
this kind of control.
No.
You have to take you have to you have to fucking grow up, man. It just keeps leading me to, like, these kids are so underdeveloped,
Yes.
emotionally.
Everything. They're vulnerable. Children are vulnerable. That's why they're going after the children, because children are easily told something and they'll believe it without questioning it because adults are telling them this. It is literally, I can see the whole fucking thing. And there's not enough of you and I who are responsible adults going, "What? Wait a minute here. That is actually absurd." And that's the problem, Keith. That's why your voice is so important, and these young people will see what you did, and that it just isn't
I
necessary.
love the trans community. I
Of course you do.
love gender non-conforming
Of
people.
course you do.
I adore that. It's just the human spirit. There's no telling where we can go as a species
That's
and
right. That's
community.
right.
Um, but I really want trans people, whether they think they're trans or not, to just really take heed, go slow. We got to protect one another, because these
That's
outside
right.
agencies don't
Yes.
really know what we're going through as a people, and
That's
they've
right.
hijacked our entire fucking world in a
Yeah.
nutshell.
Yeah.
And now we're having all of these catastrophic events with children. You
Yeah.
got all these, like, these microwave pop-up fucking training people that have literally started a medical turf war, and
Totally.
an intellectual turf war, and a
Hmm.
spiritual and a
Hmm.
psychological turf war. People like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Caitlyn Jenna, um,
Whatever.
whatever. Yeah, it's true, but
Whatever. I don't
she's
care.
part of the problem, because
Yes.
she should basically, Caitlyn, if you hear this too, you need
Yeah.
to earn your Woman of the Year award, because when Vanity Fair gave you Woman of the Year award, you should have stood up on that stage and said, "Nah, motherfuckers, I'm a biological man. I'm a
Right on.
transsexual. I identify as female, but that doesn't make me biologically a woman. You should have said, just like me, if I would have won any best female vocalist in my time of transition, and I would have said, nah, give it to the next lady runner up because I'm
Right.
true biological man. I
Right.
identify, my energy identifies as being female, but I'm not a
Totally.
real fucking biological
There you
being.
go.
I'm
There you
dancing
go.
a dance. And that's why I have respect for the women, and that's why I'll fight for them in women's spaces.
That's right.
I'm a normal gender creative child. I'm not one of these people that are just looking for likes and follows and wants,
No.
I want to be the next Dylan Mulvaney and,
Oh my
all
God.
these idiots going around.
Idiots.
If you can't, and another thing, trans people, if you can't handle being misgendered, stay in the fucking closet because that's part of the game. Because even when I was looking like a gorgeous fucking little thing, I was still sometimes, depending on the person, getting misgendered, and I go, you go with it.
You go with it. That's right.
Sir. Okay. I don't need to gender police anybody. Stop with that nonsense.
Oh, it's sick.
That's a fucking problem
It's
too.
sick. It's sick, dude.
Transing young children is a problem.
Yes.
Let them be. Let them play. If you think your kid is a he or a she.
Yes.
In a nutshell, again, I know we're ending. I'm trying to bullet point it up. Let them play. There's no harm.
Let them play.
Then you're behaving like the doctors that took the oath of doing no harm. You see, we're the real doctors with the real white coats, because if I came into your office with a trans kid, you say, you know what? Let them play. Come to me in 5 years. I guarantee you, your little girl's going to be a little girl. She's not even, once you remove the phone, remove the friends, change
God.
You have
That's right.
That's
right.
Not that I want to eradicate gender creative children.
That's different.
Race them. Right, exactly. But
that's different.
We can keep the gender creatives
100%.
Without the drugs and without the surgery.
It's stereotypes, dude. We're bringing back stereotypes. Like, hello, since when can't girls be like boys and when can't boys be like girls? Whatever that even means. They've literally reinforced stereotypes by transing kids. And I do believe that there's some form of homophobia happening here. And I think a lot of these kids could possibly be gay kids, and they don't want gay kids. I really do. I mean, it sounds crazy, but there's some form of homophobia happening here. It really looks that way.
That definitely makes sense too.
I mean, think about it, because a lot of these kids who detransitioned, I interviewed a lot of them who were girls who became boys, were actually gay girls. A lot, almost all the ones I interviewed, all like became lesbians. And I'm like, that was the issue. We weren't talking about their sexuality. We were talking about their gender. And I'm like, what? Like, people got to see this. There is an attack on this.
Maybe that was part of my problem. That
maybe
What is that that term where men fetishize
AGP
fetishize women and all that stuff?
Autogynephilia, where you want to dress up like a woman and sort of sexualize yourself in a female form.
Lot of the transsexuals do that, get into porn and all that stuff.
That's right.
At later times, they go back to just being men, and like,
yes,
I'm saying I did that.
Possible.
It could be. Maybe that's what I was. That I loved the women so much that raised me that I wanted to be like one of them.
Yes, that's possible.
I rewired everything as an adolescent, as a child,
that's right.
And then here I am at 30-something, still suffering from this thing.
Yes.
And then I went through the whole process, think I was going to be healed. And that's what I wanted to tell you. Like, you know what, motherfucker? You're not broken. Okay?
Thank you.
You're not broken. I'm not broken. We're not broken.
You're not broken.
It's right or wrong way on how to
Sweet.
Spirit.
Thank you. That is so beautiful. You're not broken. You never were broken.
You're not broken, Buck.
No, I'm not broken. And I never was broken. I just had things.
You're more together than 99.99.99% all the people I come across.
Don't tell
know,
my parents that. Just kidding.
no, you're just you're you're clear. You're loving what you do for the community, what you do for the world,
Thank
what
you,
you
friend. Thank you.
children. Yo, even all these medical people, they know we're right. They know right. I can't wait.
That's right.
You see, I believe in awakening, and I know the world's awakening. That's why there's
They are.
people like me, even fucking there's such an
That's right.
awakening going on that I can't wait.
Oh, it's coming.
To the
It's coming.
I'm going to put it out into the universe right now.
Yes, but you're
All
part of that.
All doctors that want to tell the truth, please. You're being guidely protected. You're being divinely protected.
That's
You're
right.
being divinely guided. You'll
Yes.
be protected. You're doing an amazing thing.
Yes.
Like, we have to protect the young, the spirits. They're just little.
I know. They're little
If
chickens
people
who don't know anything.
really feel what we were doing to our children, if we
Yes.
feel as a collective species of what we're doing to the world, to the animal kingdom, to the environment, and to our children,
Mm-hmm.
we would stop immediately.
That's right. That's right. That's
But
right. It's going
the
to stop,
world
though.
is so watered down.
I
People,
know.
it's almost like people have become automated bots. There's more no player characters in the world than there ever was
I
before.
know. It's sick. It's sick. It's sick. We have a lot of mental health issues going on.
And now everyone's an endocrinologist overnight. Now everyone from Whoopi Goldberg, that idiot, to
Oh, God.
to Dylan Mulvaney knows to take care of your children.
That's right. That's right. And
You ever ask Dylan Mulvaney or Laura or
all of them.
These people,
All of them.
you ever ask these
Shame on
people
them.
what they think about male convicted rapists that are being thrown in jail?
Women's prison.
In women's prisons, there's
That's
over
right.
300 that they fucking just put in multiple convictions that suddenly they're identifying as trans, and then you're putting these fucking men in women's prisons?
Dude.
Where are the rights? We don't.
There is none.
In this world. And listen, I don't care. Someone could be saying, "Oh, they're prisoners. Who gives a shit anyway?" But yo, think about this. What if your mom killed the new boyfriend because the new boyfriend was raping the girl? So the mom got locked up for the rest of her life and had to live with some freak like me that wants to fucking that rapes women, and suddenly I'm a woman. And I want the surgeries, and you're gonna pay for it on your dime.
My God, dude.
It's right there. There, fuck.
Yeah.
Right there is the is the common denominator of how all these systems are handling everything.
That's right. That's right.
So Mike Tyson becomes a female overnight. He's going to go in the ring with girls and just literally
it's a great example.
Piss out of them.
Yeah, it's a great example.
People say, well, yeah. Well, yeah. He identifies the female.
He says he is. No, totally. It's how absurd the whole thing is. You're right. And I know this for a fact because I've been around trans women for a long time, and a lot of trans women who actually have been incarcerated, they don't want to go to women's prison. Actual real trans women want to stay in men's prison because they're treated like queens there. They actually get boyfriends. They love it. Most of them are into men. They're not into women. So the ones that are going to the women's prison are not real trans women. They're predators who actually just they hate women and they want to get women. It's an actual fact. So you can see they're not really trans women.
I posted the clip on my Instagram. It's there for everyone to see. I believe the number was 287 male convicted rapists, felonists, multiple times, not just once. It wasn't one off. These are multiple times. 287 were being subjected into women's prisons this year.
Disgusting.
Why is anyone talking about that? You know,
because it's about women. If it was
Billie Eilish talking about there's a war on women,
I can't stand that.
Where the fuck were you?
That's right.
The past 5 years with the war on women, people.
Oh no, they will not. All those whatever you want to call them, wokey, whatever weirdos. Nope, they are towing the party line because they want money. It's all about money. We know the whole platform is about money, followers, money, prestige. You're famous. I live in Hollywood, dude. You know, I know it all. I go to Hollywood parties. I see it all. People are so up their own butt. It's insane. It's like no one even can talk to each other anymore. It's so weird to even go to a party.
Fucking jellybacks. No one's got a
It's
stuff.
weird. Yeah,
And
it's actually weird.
they have the nerve to come down on divine souls like you and I that are
Yeah,
walking heavy and stepping on the enemy's fucking neck.
they
I'm
don't
not gonna
like us.
stop, people. I'm
Me
not
neither.
that fucked. Seriously, we've been on 2 hours and 34 minutes. It feels like 5 minutes with
I
you.
know. I
Thank you
know.
for allowing me to use your
You're
platform.
awesome. Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to use my voice. Thank you for allowing me to tell my story. People don't know the pain that I still go through, man.
I know.
Like
I
my
know.
life isn't just hunky dory, fucking David Bowie, easy going. Life is peachy. Like I
Yeah.
struggle still.
Yeah.
I still
I
struggle
know.
with like, wow, like what the fuck did I just go through? What is going on? What is going on in my mind and my heart and my soul? You
It's
know?
why you write beautiful music. You know that? I hate to say it, but your pain comes across in your music and it comes across in your art. And, you know, struggle. That's why I always say, like, they want to stop these kids from struggling. What does that even mean?
No, you
Struggle is actually,
before
yeah.
we find our peace in our suffering, we
Yes.
find our wisdom in our
Yes.
suffering. It's like the whole shit out the way. It's a way. It's the Vedics talked about it for thousands of years.
Yes.
That's what samsara is all about. I'm all about it. The
Yes.
gods. I was born into a world of trauma. I was a fucking dirty diaper playpen baby. No one paid attention. Both of my mom and dad both OD'd on heroin. They were doing junk while I was stuck in a playpen.
Wow.
Probably didn't even feed me for 2 days, man. Why do you
Wow.
think I'm so fucked up in my head? I literally had to rewire my entire childhood, which I
Yeah.
thought was part of like my whole gender's fucked up. This is fucked up. I think
Yeah.
I'm suicidal. I tried ODing on Oxycontins in my 20s. Like I went
Yeah.
through everything
Yeah.
to just try to make myself better.
Yeah.
Not remove body parts, not remove my fucking skull. People are so watered down these days, Buck, and you're gonna laugh that if chopping off my head and chopping off your head and we can replace heads, if that was the new narrative, all the idiots are
You're
gonna
so-
line up. They're all gonna line up. Buck, let's line up. I want your fucking head on my shoulders.
Oh my God, dude, you are so right.
You can have mine, Buck. Okay?
You are actually so genius. You're right. In 2 seconds, switch heads.
This is what society is doing. And I hope I
Oh,
can, by even poking fun with the most ridiculous examples and
true.
metaphors, this
True.
is where we're at as a species.
I know. I know. I know. I don't even know what to say because I just can't even believe it. I just can't. Sometimes my mind is like twirling around as people are punching me in the face every day on the internet, right? I'm just thinking, what? Wait a minute. This is not real, right? Luckily that we have become grounded though, Keith, and we really understand that we can look above the crazy punching that we keep. They're punching at our ankles. Basically, that's what they're doing. But somehow me and you are able and some other of us are able to look above and beyond that. And it's why really the journey you have gone through and that you continue to go through and that you will go through and your pain, because I feel it when you, I can feel your pain. And
it's like, I still got to go back under. I'm afraid to go under. People just going under like it's fucking feeding a bird in the cage. It's like,
I know.
dude, you're going under. There's a chance you might not come back.
That's right,
like,
dude.
Does that even like get into your system at all?
Yeah.
The reason why I procrastinated so long to get the tits out is because I want to go under. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Why I never
Of
did
course.
or that.
I know.
Why I never wanted this, but I had to because when I was on my hormones, one had a beautiful boob and one was hanging fucking fig. So I had to do elective surgery. And I have teacups,
Yeah.
anatomically structured properly, not
Right.
these fucking cannons, not this over-exaggerated parody of myself, you know,
No, I
because that's
know.
what people are doing. And you know
Yeah.
what? Why I love that whole fucking clown world description, because it's like,
Mhm.
yo, you're taking something that people have been suffering with for their whole life, and
Yeah.
you're Ronald McDonalding it. You think this is a new
Totally.
Happy Meal? You think trans is the new fucking the new overcoat you buy at Kmart?
Totally.
You think you're taking your kid you're going shopping for a new gender? That's what the fuck you're doing?
That's right.
While you're
Great.
going to the doctor to fucking cut your kid up?
Oh,
You can be an asshole and say, you know what? Good luck. Chop your fucking kids' arms off. Chop their tits off.
oh
Chop
my
the
God.
dick off. You're doing good. Listen
Yeah.
to the doctors. You'll be okay.
Oh my God, dude. It's like
Shut the
it's a
fuck
horror
up.
movie. It's a horror movie. It really is. I mean, the fact that it's legal. How is it actually legal to do that kind of, as we know, doesn't work, irreversible surgery? How is it legal? That's where I guess my mind is being blown.
The agents of the Matrix that control all the systems in place, this is what they want. They're not into real care. Otherwise, holistic medicines and drugs would have been buried by the FDA,
Wow.
by Big
Wow.
Pharma. Look, dude, even something simple in, like, let's just take foods for example. The FDA,
Right.
Europe banned about 60 foods that are
Yeah.
still on the shelves in
That's right.
America.
That's right.
Okay?
That's
We
right.
have
That's
cancer-causing
right.
products in the packaging,
Yeah.
cancer-causing products in the food,
That's right.
cancer-causing products in the color of the package. Like,
Totally.
everything's cancer-causing, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're wondering where all the fucking cancers are coming from.
I
But
know.
yet, Buck, what the agents of the Matrix do, what they do is spend billions of dollars in marketing and racketeering.
Right.
They put
Right.
1,000 million videos on YouTube about your kids having cancer. They're programming your minds that cancer is hereditary when it's really not. There's new sciences out there called epigenetics. You can heal yourself. Everybody do a
Yeah.
deep dive on Dr. Joe Dispenza and
Great.
Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden. These
Great.
motherfuckers are the leading doctors, scientists, and psychologists, and even more incredible humanitarians that are
Great.
going to tell you that cancer isn't hereditary. There's new science out there. It's called epigenetics. I wanted to be cured. I cured myself, Buck, because
Yeah.
I want to be cured.
That's right.
I don't, and
Genius.
I had to show up for my cellular system to guide and direct it
Genius.
into the right direction. Like I said, when I stopped hormones, I hit a crossroads. It was go the Rockefeller Big Farm
Yeah.
lubricant way
Yeah.
and make more problems for my mind and my
Yeah.
body,
Yeah.
or go the way you're afraid to go and live genuinely in your male
Yes.
self now, because that's
Great.
what my intuition is telling me to do, because I
Yeah.
feel
The truth.
the journey's over. And if I want to play and have sex with people and be with this man that wants
Yeah.
me to fucking do whatever I gotta do and make things playful, you can play.
Yeah. That's
Play.
right.
And you know what, Buck? Nothing's lost. And you can call me a fake trans person or fake this or fake that.
Of course.
I know that I'm still trying to work my shit
Yeah.
out. And it's going to take me I may not ever work out what's really going on up here until death presents itself. And then
Right.
whatever, the soul remembers who we are, where we are,
Right.
why. I could be, I have so many crazy, I could be a female on a real biological female.
Yeah.
This what you're listening to could be a real biological female on a different dimension,
Totally.
different in her real biological spacesuit. But
Totally.
I chose in that
Totally.
dimension to come into this dimension as
Yes.
a female soul in a boy's body. And
Great.
how you going to handle that?
Yeah, that's right.
Because as science tells us, and all the quantum physicists that are out there,
Yep.
there are multiple dimensions. There's a million Bucks out there. There's a million Keiths and Minas out there. There's
That's
a million
right.
fucking Bailey Jays out there,
Mm-hmm.
all living, all at different stages in their life.
That's
Maybe
right.
I learned how to hijack and hijack like dimensions of my world to really align myself with my real alignment of my
Mm-hmm.
real nature,
Mm-hmm.
and to reverse the role. Like I thought I couldn't be this person unless I went through hormones and
That's right. I
lived out.
agree with you.
But now I'm in reverse, and again, now it's like I don't need to be on hormones. Need to um I don't need to metamorphosize my body with surgical interventions anymore. I can do whatever I want and play, and I can be safe
Totally.
with drugs. I can, and as an older individual, all the youngsters should walk in my shoes until they're really adults and
That's
until they
right.
really can decide for themselves. Because I tell you, in this day and age where everyone wants everything yesterday, every person wants to be a girl, every other person wants to be a boy, you know,
Wow. Just wow. Just wow.
it's part of the times, it's part of the culture. I get it, but you got to be smart about shit. You got to move really slowly, because chances are you're not going to be healed, especially, maybe 1 out of 10,000 people, it was right for them for the kid to be on hormones and all this other stuff, like people like Teddy Equivalent or whatever her name is. But she came out way long before
Way long.
the iPhone was really out, and
Way
was
long.
fake influence.
But also, we
Before
don't know if her journey is done. This is my point. Yes, maybe it worked for Teddy as a young person and now an older person. But the problem for me is going to still be this. What does it mean that it worked for them? And why were we as adults able to take away? Because Teddy doesn't have any sexual functioning, because they were on, we know for a fact you will lose 100% your sexual space if you go on puberty blockers. No penis, all of it. So now this person is walking the world what we think is a woman. And now all of a sudden, what happens if Teddy changes their mind at your age? And we took that away as a child. It's why I still don't believe, if there's 1 in 500,000 kids, I still don't believe that they should be on. We as adults should not make that choice for a child. We're not growing them a new leg. We're right. That's different. If they have one leg and they need another leg, that's to me different, but not.
One of my other biggest bullet points in that clip, that the libs, it blew up and all that shit.
Yeah.
That was my other strong point, where what you're doing as parents and as doctors, you're
Yeah.
literally stripping their right as a child. When your
That's
child
right.
grows up to be an adult,
Yes.
you've already torn apart any
Yes.
birthright, any adult decisions that they can make for themselves. And like I told you,
That's right.
what are you gonna do, parents? In my video, I fucking freaked out because
Yes.
I get passionate. What are you gonna do, parents, when you already took your kids to get irreversible surgeries, and when your
Yes.
little kid comes to you 3 years later in
Yes.
her own time, self-reflecting, and says, "Mommy,
Yes.
Daddy, why did you listen to me? I was 10 years old. I was 13. I want
Gross.
my titties back. I want to have kids. Now I can't. Now I'm stuck like this.
That's right.
Now this kid, like Clementine, and isn't it funny? She got everything she needed for all of her gender affirming surgeries. She got immediately, the girl Clementine. And
Yeah.
now that she's trying to reverse everything, they won't even cover her costs.
That's right. Great point.
Why? Because she's detransitioning.
That's right.
Goes
So
against,
how?
that goes against a whole new false narrative
There
medical
you go.
of bullshit.
There you go.
Shame on all
Brilliant.
the doctors. Shame on all the sexologists.
That's right.
Shame on all the
That's right.
endocrinologists that are doing this. Shame on all
Unbelievable.
the therapists that are doing this. Shame on all the clinicians that are doing this. To all the parents, to all the fucking
Unbelievable.
children, shame on all of you for putting the trans people against the trans people. Shame on
Yes.
all you people that are shaming other trans people for having different journeys. Shame on all of you.
That's right.
Karma is going to get you all.
Oh.
Trust me, karma will get your every intention,
Brilliant.
every word you speak, every act you take. the universe hears you. They call it spelling because you're casting spells with
That's
your
right.
words. So be fucking careful.
That's
Watch,
right.
I'm telling you, Buck. Watch
Amen.
how the entire, we may not see it. I hope we get to see it in our lifetime. I
Yeah.
think we will. And
Yeah.
that's why I do. And people are going to call me Mini Trump and all this. They always
Totally.
do it. But what
Many.
the only reason why I really wanted him in, first of all, I don't respect any politicians because
Yeah, I got you. I'm the same.
puppeteers
Yeah,
control everything. But the
that's right.
real reason why, because I want him to shatter that whole glass house
Exactly.
because it's wrong.
Right on, brother. Right on.
You're
Right
taking,
on.
you're fucking, no matter what you do, if
That's
you
right.
take your kid to get hormones, puberty blockers, or
Yep.
surgeries irreversible,
Yep.
you're doing a very big disservice for your child. You
That's
think
right.
you're doing a service, but guess what? When your child grows up, it's still going to be a very big disservice.
That's
Let me
right.
say one more fucking thing, my man.
Right on. Right
Remember
on.
10 years ago when the fake trans community went after motherfuckers like me and you? Remember when the doctors and the parents were making decisions for intersex children
Oh
to get their
God.
fucking enlarged clitoris
I
cut
know.
off?
Yep. Yep. I
Remember
sure
when
do.
the whole world
Yep.
was coming down on doctors because they were doing that to intersexed bodies, making decisions for these young people that when
Right.
they're adults, first of all, body has memory. I learned that through yoga. I've been doing yoga
Yes.
almost 30 years.
It's
And
true.
your muscles have
Yes.
memory. Your
That's true.
organs have memory. That's why if you need heart surgery and I give you my heart,
Mhm.
you're going to start thinking and feeling like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all connected. We're all connected.
Yep.
The energy, the sounds, we're connected by vibration, energy,
Mhm.
frequency. So no, to get back, you're going to take your kid, you're going to do all this thinking you're doing a service, you're a rush job because you want your fucking meal ticket yesterday. That's not, when your kid grows up, 7 out of 10 of them will probably come to you and call you out, parents and
Mhm.
doctors.
That's
And,
right.
and it's a what again, like remember the trans community coming down on people when we wanted to protect the
That's
intersex
right.
body.
That's right.
Now we're in the same position. The folks that yelled, the same folks that yelled at you and I for protecting these intersex bodies
That's right.
are coming down to not protect these bodies.
Weird.
So like you're compartmentalizing bodies, like you
Yeah.
want to protect this person, but you don't want to protect this young person. It's almost like people want to see other people getting transed because, again, like all these key figures in our life and all these popular transsexuals, they don't talk about any of this because it's just like
Because they know it's fake. It is so fake because you're right. The same thing you said earlier about what about all the kids that are missing? 500,000. Nobody seems to care about those kids. They care about this certain amount of trans kids. Care about the kids. Like, what are you talking about? And then you're saying the same thing. What about the intersex kids? Everyone was not okay with them, surgically removing these intersex conditions. But now they're okay with surgically altering healthy, the key word here, Keith, healthy bodies. These kids have healthy bodies. There's nothing wrong with their bodies. No. This is sick.
Yeah, every child goes through some kind of mental, spiritual, and body dysmorphism.
That's here.
Yeah, we all go through it.
It's not here. But they're cutting boobs off.
It's still happening, and you don't have to be trans. What
about That's right.
That we were talking about before, real fast. All these young teenage girls filling up their face already before they're 25.
Yes.
You got girls 20 years old, half their cheekbone hanging, their chin hanging.
Oh my God.
There's a lip. This girl's lip got infected from the Botox. God. The system systematically abuses the insecurities of the human spirit.
Great.
All psychological warfare, Buck.
Yes. That's a psychological warfare. It 100 is. They make girls think that they're boys. They make girls think that their boobs are lopsided. They make girls think they need bigger butts, right? It's mostly a war on girls because men aren't necessarily doing all these surgeries like the girls or the trans girl, right? The trans female to males are doing. It seems like a full on war against women.
Women, yeah. The system has been seriously hell bent on. It always did violate the woman since the birth
Yes.
of the witch days, but
Yes.
these days,
True.
man, like the whole. I look at the whole Olympics thing and the trans women in women's sports is the
Hmm.
new witch burning. It's the new book
Yes.
burning.
That's right.
They don't
It
want to
totally
have
is.
a difference, and this is not
No.
right because there's a very big difference. Like you can believe you're a man in your head.
But
Uh,
I don't. That's the
no, I know.
thing.
I'm not even talking
Yeah.
to you. I'm just
but
generally
th-
speaking. Like you could think all you want in your head, but the
right.
reality is that you're a
Right.
fucking male mammal. You don't belong in female mammal sport. You can identify all you want. In
Yep.
fact, wow, where? Yeah,
Yep.
all that surgery. You
Yep.
look like a gorgeous, beautiful biological woman. God bless you, darling. But
Right.
you're not. You need to own your
You're
authentic.
not.
All the transsexuals I came from, they
Yep.
owned the fact and they were proud to
That's
be
right.
beautiful boys that turned
Yes.
girls. And these
Right
days,
on.
the rhetoric changed. They changed. They
They
changed
changed it all.
because it's a new culture. It's this fucking post iPhone culture.
It's sick.
One is so no one suffers from any kind of oppression that all these kids they're creating oppressions that don't even exist.
Oh my God. I
Everyone
know.
at their
Wow.
fucking fingertips. So everyone is so just fucking
Insane, dude. It's actually, since I'm like you, I'm going on a thing, and I never felt comfortable saying I was female. It took me a long time to figure that out until I was comfortable. And now I'm so comfortable just saying, yeah, I'm a female. Big deal. You can call me she. Like, it's not maturity. It's something else. It really is on some level like learning how to deal with your dysphoria and being cured on some level, right? Like understanding how profound that is for people like Keith and I to really come to terms with our gender dysphoria and say, "Oh, well, we know exactly why. Keith has to go back to this thing. I'm perfectly okay with this, but we both Keith and I know our biological reality, and we also understand what we needed to do to get to this very healthy it's so healthy
I,
what you're doing, so healthy.
I only did what I did and put myself in these precocious situations because I thought I was genuinely helping myself.
That's right. That's right. And you were on some level you were.
My expectation wasn't to look like a young fucking Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay? Like I didn't know really what to expect. I
Yes.
really just
Yes.
I thought I was
Yes.
broken because I came from a very broken, traumatized fucking
Yes.
environment.
Yes.
I grew up with drug addicts. I
Yeah.
did drugs. I hated my life. I was in rock and roll. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, it's like, and I honestly just, I can't even. I called it the kindergarten matrix to my friend the other day because we're literally behaving like this is like a kindergarten playing field.
Yeah.
Doctors, therapists, psychologists, they don't know about this. They don't know enough about
Yeah.
the psyche of the mind.
That's
I'll
right.
talk to any therapist and I'll debate and I'll talk and I'll share.
Yep.
Now, I actually spoke to your friend Pamela yesterday,
Oh, great.
who
Great.
who studied psychology. Like I was having her on a roll yesterday because like,
Yeah. Excellent.
again I went blank because I'm a fucking
No, she loves you. And also
yeah,
Pamela's smart. She's willing to have the conversation. She doesn't think she knows everything,
yeah,
right?
no.
That's
And I'll
that's
tell
what.
about like my psychological status, and it's just like, yo, like, but I needed to do all those things. I needed to realize that, honey lamb, you're not broken.
Hmm.
You're right on time.
Right on.
Okay for your spirit
Right
to
on.
in and out of energies.
Right
But
on.
I know I'm like, I came from a very unhealed environment, Buck. and
Yeah.
I developed into a very unhealed human and
Yeah.
very traumatized on many different levels.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't regret a day. I know I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry.
No, it's you're
Thought
not.
provoking out of brain
You're
moments
not.
to
You're
whoever's
not.
listened to this. I hope you sat through this whole thing. I apologize for my scatterbrain moments.
No,
I'm very
don't.
layered and complex. So, like,
Yeah, you
I,
are.
I'm telling you something, but I already want to tell you something again. It's like,
That's why you're genius. You know,
uh,
I want to say to people who are watching this, if you have kids who are struggling with dysphoria, you should really send them to Mina's channel on Instagram. It's Mina Caputo. And also really just look at people like us. And I even thought to put together a program for parents for with Mina, I'm sorry, with Keith and I, where we could actually talk to your kids and they could actually, there used to be a show on TV, I think when I was growing up, maybe in the 80s, I think it was called Hard Time or something like that, and they would take a group of kids who were getting themselves into trouble and they would take them to the prison and they would sit them down in prison. Maybe they'd been to jail one time or something, and they would make them listen to the prisoners. And then the prisoners would be like, you don't want to come, and they would just Scared Straight, I think it was called, and they would scare the crap out of these kids. And then the kids all became like straight A students and they were just like right back to normal again. So I thought on some level, doing something
what?
like that.
That's a brilliant form of kind of like therapy in a sense. Like you got to,
Yeah.
they used to call them special ed kids back in the day where
Yeah.
they had these kids in another room because they were violent. They were this, they
Yeah. That's right.
thieves, they came from a very fucked up life. Ba, 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 ba,
Yeah.
ba. But
Yeah.
you take them to the prison and you show them a prisoner that got stabbed up in prison,
That's
that
right.
went through this, and like you
That's right.
show these kids, like, yo, look at me. I'm going back. I don't even want to say going back. I'm going into a newer,
That's
healed
right.
version of myself. Okay.
Oh, dude, you're so
I'm not
awesome.
going
You're
back.
going forward. You're not going
I'm
backwards.
not
You
going
are.
back to the
That's
old
right.
Keith. I'm
That's
going
right.
back to the Keith
That's
that
right.
embraced Mina,
That's
that
right.
Mina killed that Keith, but now Keith is
That's right.
embracing both that Keith and that Mina. It's so, and now I'm walking in
Excellent.
a newer, healed, more stable version.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
listen, I'm an artist. I'm out of my mind. I have, I have an explosive imagination.
Yeah.
I know I'm
Yeah.
right in my heart now. For me,
I know.
me,
For you. For
you.
you. For
Like,
you.
you
That's
own
right.
your authenticity. You
Yep.
motherfuckers. You
Yep.
know it's the right thing for you to do for you. You know, no matter all the pushback that you get, it doesn't
That's
matter
right.
because that's fuel for the fire.
That's
These
right.
people think that first of all, these people are demons.
I totally.
These demons
Totally.
came that they want to dim your light because you're shining so bright, Buck.
So
I've
we
learned so
are. We
from
are.
you. All these clips, all these kids, like I didn't even know. I learned from you just the other month that there's kids out there
Mm.
transing themselves and they don't even have gender dysphoria, man.
No, they
Like,
don't.
stop this, kids. Stop this.
Yeah.
Look,
What?
yo, stop this. You you're violating the rights of real
Yeah.
people who do suffer with some kind of gender disorientation
That's right.
or dysphoria. And you know what? I don't know what I don't like any titles. I don't, Buck, and I don't like to
Mm-hmm.
categorize what
Sure.
is a mental illness and what isn't, and because we don't understand enough about the human species to
That's
even like
right.
start titling and then throwing someone in a lunatic asylum and then giving them electric
Oh my
and
God.
formulating all these thoughts
Yeah.
because we're just we're a parasitic species
Yes.
parasiting off of one another to learn and to grow. If you look at the globe from a top view, like a
Mm-hmm.
biologist, you'll
Mm-hmm.
just see that we're just an amoeba of a mob cellular
Mm.
one body where we're all these wars, the the
Right.
the, the all the wars on women, the war on
Totally.
children, the war on language, the war on food, the
Yep.
war in our skies, the war in our books. They're eliminating books,
I know.
the digital wars, even the wars in the music industry,
I know.
all the wars going on, like
Yeah. It's insane.
there is a war, there is a
So right.
psychological spiritual warfare that's going on, and again, people need to take heed, go real slow in life, whether you're trans or not. Go slow, start meditating. Meditating is not this difficult thing. Sit
Mm-hmm.
in a chair, listen to
Mm-hmm.
your breath.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to your breath like the tide of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
You inhale, that's the water coming to the shore. You exhale, that's the water going out. The
Mm-hmm.
idea in life is to create your own still pond, because we are the ocean, but we're the ocean in one drop, not one
Mm-hmm.
drop in the entire. Where we are such complicated, brilliant, beautiful, boundless beings that we're all just trying to work this out.
Mm-hmm.
People, and we, as a species, some people, we think, yeah, we think we're not even doctors, but you know what, we're
That's
better
right.
doctors than the doctors, because we don't need to study and have a plaque on our wall. We have
That's right.
actual real experience, something a white coat will never have. Because you know what the
Never.
white coats are doing? The white coats are relying on the therapists to give the go ahead with the blockers and the this and the that. And
Yeah. That's
yo,
right.
you could have some piece of shit therapist that just collect and is giving ill uninformed consensuses to parents and doctors.
Totally.
And you
Totally.
get parents that don't talk to people, like don't want to, because you're getting shunned, while the Dylan Mulvaney's of the world are getting, because
I
we live in
know.
such a fake Drew Barrymore world.
That's
It's
right.
so fucking like these
Totally.
people are dumb.
No, they're dumb, but they
You know?
wanted them to be dumb because dumb people are easily swayed and
How
manipulated. That's
about
why.
Lady Gaga? How about Lady Gaga for women's rights? How
Oh,
about you fucking take a
oh,
photograph of a woman, of a Muslim woman who took back her fucking sovereignty, doesn't want to wear a stupid fucking hijab,
that's
doesn't believe
right.
in this bullshit,
That's
wants
right.
a right. How about real feminism?
That's
Are you
right.
you're taking photos with a Dylan Mulvaney? This is the
A
problem.
dude. That
Buck,
was a
this is part of
dude.
the problem, babe. You got celebrity influence. You
That's
got
right.
all these stupid
Huge.
influences that are robbing the
Fake.
mind of
Fake.
children.
Fake.
All fake. And then you get
Fake.
the
That's
real
right.
motherfuckers that put their lives on the line, their livelihoods on the line, to
That's
do
right.
things like this, to guide and re-guide people that are very misguided. Look, we're a very
Yep.
misguided bunch. Trans or not, the humans were fucking misguided.
Yep.
Everyone's like this now. There's no more dating. There's no more love. It almost, we spend $10,000 to go on vacation for what? To look at our phones?
Oh my god, it's so sick. Oh my. No, it's all money. You're literally saying it all. It's money, it's prestige, it's likes. Dylan Mulvaney's going to go away. We all know that. All these fake
Honestly,
they're all gone.
I think she's an FBI or a CIA
Yeah.
plant.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
new FA Ultra. She
Well,
has to be. This
yeah.
can't be real. And if it is,
No, it's not.
we got really real
We
problems.
got real problems if it's real, but it can't be
Yeah.
real. It's too manipulated. It is. I don't believe it is.
Old.
No.
Did you ever see Dylan Mulvaney explain about rapists and women's? Did you ever see these people really protect women's rights and children's
Never.
rights?
No.
Never.
I never see them talk about
They're
that
all
ever.
bought, they're all getting paid under the table.
That's right.
They're
That's
all.
right.
I don't know. I don't know how accurate, but something sinister's at play. Something
That's
doesn't
right.
feel right.
Something dark. Dark.
Yeah.
Very dark.
My boy is always like, he always makes fun, not pokes fun in a bad way, but like he's just like, yo, like, you're the rabbit with the gun now. You went so deep in the rabbit hole, you got a gun. Yeah. And he was like, honestly, Mina, when we were talking just conversation months ago, he was like, you're so like, yeah, he was like, you're the rabbit with the gun now, that like,
True.
it all comes down to the women and the children. I can
100%.
everything.
100%.
Just this
Everything.
this whole thing
Everything.
leads all the way to, look, the politics. They did Kamala Harris. They're using
Yep.
guilt to guilt all the women. Then
That's right. That's
suddenly all
right.
the rubber heads come out. There's a
That's right.
war on women. Well, where were you, Billy?
That's,
She
oh my
tweeted,
God.
there's a war on
Totally.
women. Where were you with the
Yeah.
war on women in sports for the
Sports,
past 5 years?
bathroom, sports, all of it. Kids. Oh, they weren't around, right? No. But now all of a sudden that there's no abortion, and which there is, by the way, and it's all manipulated. And you have to vote for Kamala because she's a woman. I'm like, that is actually misogynist, if you ask me. I'm not going to just vote for her because she's a woman. Is she a badass woman? No, and I'm not voting for her.
I would love to vote for a woman, but not
so would
her.
I. But not her. That she's the we need an actual real woman that could take the job on. And then we'll vote for her, and then we'll get our first woman president. But it has to be a badass woman, not somebody like her. She was just also appointed. We didn't ask for her to be there.
Elected her. Like no one elected Fauci. No
That's
one
right.
Bill Gates. No one elected George Soros. No one
That's
elected
right.
Charles Schwab. His uncle
That's
was
right.
a fucking Nazi.
That's
what
right.
do you think about that? Oh, I can't.
No one talks about that.
I can't use that word on Instagram.
Oh my God.
I'm so shadow banned. I can't even.
Dude, me too.
My
Me
post got to where they got because
Nope, me too.
Yep. Instagram wrote me telling me they deliberately put me on the bottom of all my followers.
I got the same thing.
Why?
Me and you are totally shadow banned, dude. And they're like, "You're shadow banned. Get over it." Oh, it's gonna end. It's gonna end. It's gonna end.
The cat, switching the head with a celebrity, like.
Dude, it's so great. Just keep traveling the world like you're doing. Keith is going on tour on Wednesday. Keep traveling the world, friend. Keep making that music. Me and you are going to do more of these lives. We are going to continue to push out these freaks, and we are going to bring back sanity. Who cares? The trans stuff, I don't care. I care about sanity, and I actually care about these kids and women, and so do you. And I think together, our voices are extremely powerful together, and we can just show.
People like Laura Listen, I love Laura. I never wish her any ill.
No, I don't wish any bad things. Of course not.
On the street, I jump in to help her. That's how I feel.
Of course. I feel sorry for her. No, I feel sorry for her. She just totally lost her mind. Yeah.
This is how we get on with differences of opinion.
That's right. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate.
You would have called me.
That's right.
On the side to talk about what's going on and not try to publicly humiliate me like everyone's trying to do with everybody. I don't.
That's right.
Culture game. That's why people.
That's sick.
They fear my wisdom. They fear my light.
That's right.
And that's honestly, it's an honor. I'm so unbothered, Buck, and so and so like that's
so
why,
good.
Dude. You're not broken. Stay where you're at. You're
on.
You have a beautiful heart. You're doing more work for the world than any system I see in place. Any fucking bullshit. People like you need real shows that are on airtime like The View instead of like Whoopi Goldberg dumbing the work down even more.
Sick. They're so sick.
Anyway,
it's all good.
We're gonna go on 4 hours
because we have way too much to talk about. I'll bring you back on when you get back from your tour, and I love you.
What? Give me some time
on tour.
I'll come back after my surgery when my surgery's
healed
up. When I'm really like living out there, like
that would be amazing. Yes.
That's in January. So
I know it's nothing. Yeah, it's
March,
2 months.
April, you'll have me again, and then we'll scream.
Amazing.
We'll talk to some people.
Yes.
We'll put the fear of fright into others because people, you need to be afraid. This isn't a fucking joke.
That's right.
It's
not a joke.
This isn't going to Kmart, okay?
Yeah.
And get the new gender game.
Kmart.
Okay?
Yep, that's right. It's not.
Not a Happy Meal.
This is so gross.
Life.
It's disgusting. Yeah,
People
it's
got
sad.
slow, man. But I'm
Let's save them.
you gave me this opportunity. Thank you, Buck, for giving
I
me
love you.
a platform so
Yeah.
I can just locomotively just steam my engine. And I know,
I know.
guys, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a scatter, but my engine
No.
is like, and I'm on fire, and I
But
have and I love the children. I love my
I know.
transsexual people. I
Yeah.
love everyone who doesn't conform, but we
That's
gotta
right.
do it right. You gotta
That's
do it
right.
in a timely fashion. If you want to be a non-gender conforming fucking human being, do it the right way. Do follow. There aren't any rules or regulations anymore, but the only regulation you should be going after is patience, is making very clear decisions, is being confident about your decisions, is having so much life experience. Because trust me, your little adolescents before their teen, they don't even have enough life experience to even
That's
make
right.
these decisions. And that's
Yeah.
why so many detransitioning, because
That's right.
you're fucking cutting them up before they even get to live.
Wow, dude.
Stop
Just
it.
wow. Stop
Stop
it.
it.
Just
You're
stop it.
cutting their fucking mind. You're cutting their soul up. You're cutting their
Sick.
heart up. You're building trauma upon trauma upon trauma. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Parents, sit the fuck down. Read books. Go to as many therapists as you need to. Let your
Right
kids
on.
play. Don't involve drugs. Don't involve surgeries, because honestly, that's the devilish way to go. If you're
Yeah.
not an adult, I'm not telling them what adults should do with their lives, but I'm telling adult parents what you need to be doing for your children. Because if you're not doing what I'm telling you to do, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're bad parents.
Right
You
on.
have had kids in the fucking first place.
Right
If you're
on.
not like me, not taking you, let your kids play. Trust me, they won't want to be what you think they want to be.
That's
Okay?
right.
Because once life experience takes over, trust me,
Oh, you're
I
screwed.
saved so many fans' kids. I saved families so much heartache, because I had so many fans come. They were so confused. I said, whatever you do, listen to me. Don't put them on hormones, and don't ever do surgeries.
Right
I
on.
get a text a month or two later. I listen to you. My boy doesn't even want to wear dresses anymore.
You just prove it.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. You're
Simple.
saving kids. You're
Simple.
saving their lives.
And I just saved years of money going
Yep.
to. I don't need to be a therapist. I don't need to have a plaque on my wall to have fucking common sense, yo.
That's right. It's common sense. That's all it is.
I
It's literally
take the
common sense.
hormone, and I'm telling people, there's a spike in confusion. There's a spike in sadness.
Yeah, there
There's a
is.
spike in weak
Yeah.
mental clarity
Yeah.
of thinking. There's
Yeah.
a spike in decapitating the wisdom of your mind. There's
That's
a spike in dormancy in your brain.
Mhm.
Man,
Yeah.
go slow, man. 3
Slow
hours,
down.
17 minutes, still lit, still talking with the
Because
amazing
you're awesome. I
Bucky.
love you.
Love you
I love
so
you.
much for
I love
doing
you.
all that you're doing, for giving me a voice for this past 3 hours. I hope people really watch this. I hope it's
They
just as
will.
the last podcast we did together.
Yeah, it's gonna
And
blow up.
thank you. I hope I hope people in Hollywood see this. I hope fucking all the right trans advocates see this. And like, really, man, like, wake up, grow up, get out of these stupid, mindless fucking narratives that have seduced you into stupidity. Like, really, man, like,
Mm,
yeah, right?
totally.
Man.
I mean, I'm just like, yeah. I can't even
Yeah,
say anything
yeah,
because
I'm
everything you say is in my brain.
ghost. Oh,
Slow down. That's everybody. Take it away. Slow down. Slow down. You're not in a hurry. And send Mina, Keith.
everyone's in a rush, Buck.
Don't rush for
No way.
anything. Send Mina, Keith, a lot of love, everybody, please. I mean, really, this person is going to change so much, everything we've been fighting for. So we're going to end now. Thank you, guys. We're going to have him back after he has his surgery, and then we'll talk some more. We'll talk some more sense into people. And love you guys so much. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you, everybody, for really taking the time out of your day to be hanging out with us and listening to two old fucks. see you later.